Obunu gini kama chozunu Imana chukwa kosi womo Onyele miu Nyelu yumi What am I looking for? See my God, he don't bless me, yo. He give you me, give me you. Obunu kife la chasha so Obunu kife me chasha me my baby, you know, say you go love for me. Hey, yeah. I do go. I could go. When I call your name, Shakara for me. Oh, Roma. I will be your Romeo. You go be my Julie. Roma, I will be your Romeo. You will be my Julia. Oh, give me your love and I'll go run away. Show me your love and I'll go use you play. Carry me, go me, I go follow you way. Follow you, they go. Maka Munagi, me and you. Okwa Munagi, my baby and me and you. Me and you, Aqua Monagi, my baby. Obuzi kife la chasha so, Obuni kife la chasha me. My baby, you know, say you go love me. I do go. I could go. When I call your name, Shakara for me. Oh, Roma, I will be your Romeo. You go be my Julie. Yeah, Roma, I will be your Romeo. You will be my Julia. Oh, Roma, I will be your Romeo. You will be my Juliet.
It is the turn on the Southwest. The Southwest has never been president before.
But we've had Olusegun Obasanjo.
No, Olusegun Obasanjo is an Igbo man. He came from Anambra State. His father is an Igbo man.
Do you have evidence to this, sir?
My friend, it is he who should come out and say, no, he's not an Igbo man. Everybody knows that it's not a hidden fact. His father became the Obi of Onitsha. Thank you.
Okay, now. To person between my bed. I see. I see what the wedding for game. Okay. I'm looking for you. I'm not eating. I'm not saying I want to go. I got no more Jelumba. Oh, where would he get? I got you to never tell one more. I don't know what they are doing. Why I don't want.
Ejemini Ekebo, Akobi Ewe Ayo, Ewe Tumeje, Ituloni Otueshe, Ifaloni Konfa Emora, Aidinu Gbogbo Atare, Gbogbo Meji Oka Baba, Gbogbo Meta Oka Wase, Ori lo túmọ̀ ẹ̀dùn, gbogbo ọ̀nà ní túmọ̀ ẹsẹ̀. Akọni ìmọ̀ tú ìmọ̀ ọjọ́, ìmọ̀ èmi ni wọn kì í dálẹ̀. Bọ́bá lọ mẹ́lẹ́mọ́, wá fi jóye ẹlẹ́mọ́. Akọni bọ́bá lọ gbé fèrè, wá fi jóye ẹlòkò. Bọ́wọ́ wọn bá tẹ̀ mí, wá fi jóye aláre. Àwọn mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta parapọ̀, wọ́n wá jọ ń pẹ́ mọ́, ẹ̀ẹ́mọ́ olóko jẹ. Wọ́n pa Akíntọ́lá, Akíntọ́lá ọmọ Ògún. Wọ́n pàdé Ìyọ̀dà, ọmọ Àtàràbọ̀bà. Àkọ́bí wọ́n pàdé Ṣàtàdàdẹ, ọmọ ọba Ìjẹ̀bú Mèrè. Aṣíwájú odò gbólùkẹrẹ, ajagun lólòdì ọ̀run. Tó bá ṣe pé tìyẹ, tó bá ṣe pé tìyẹ, náà bá ń darí jọ wí. Àpérò ni kún gbọ́wọ́, ọ̀bọ ti ṣìgìdì máa gbé, àbẹ́tì ló máa ń gbé, àyàn ti ìlàyàn ewúrẹ́. Ọlọ́run dákun má padà lẹ́yìn ẹ, kó má gbàgbé ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́. Aṣíwájú Ọlọ́run dákun má padà lẹ́yìn ẹ. Àkọ́bí Ọlọ́run dákun má padà lẹ́yìn ẹ. Ọkọ̀ olúrẹ̀lẹ̀.
Ayandaba, 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 ayandaba. Ayandaba, 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 ayandaba. Ayandaba, ayandaba, ayandaba. Ayandaba, 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 ayandaba. Ayandaba, 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 ayandaba. Susu, baby, subramia. Baby, subramia. Suku, sunu, baby, subramia. Suku, sunu, baby, subramia. Suku, sunu, baby, subramia. Ejemo, ejemo, anamana. Ejemeje, ejemo, anamana. Wana mejemo, ejemo, anamu. Para chuba jodiri chukuma chuku chuba jodiri ndemawo egu mawego. Para chuba jodiri chukuma chuku chuba jodiri ndemawo egu mawego. Obodo jisike n'ụbọchị eruona. Oyibo.
It is everyone. Befere.
Ayandaba, 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 ayandaba. Ayandaba, 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 ayandaba. Ayandaba, 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 ayandaba. Ayandaba, ayandaba, ayandaba. Asima ayandaba, 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 ayandaba. Ayandaba, ayandaba, ayandaba. Wana ayandaba, 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 ayandaba. Ayandaba, ayandaba, ayandaba. Susu, baby, subramia. Suku, sunu, baby, subramia. Suku, sunu, baby, subramia. Suku, sunu, baby, subramia.
Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes you just have to act like you are drunk, like you are crazy. Confuse your enemies, confuse them.
Oh, that's yeah, we mo. Yeah, we mo. Oh, that's yeah, we mo. No basa ni kapanto mo. Yeah, dia bugeme. Okwitara kara mi nguru ma mi ga kuru mu gwo ya baby mo. Abe Maria.
Boy feeling.
Ayandaba, 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 ayandaba. Ayandaba, 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 ayandaba. Ayandaba, 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 ayandaba. Ayandaba, ayandaba, ayandaba. Asima ayandaba, 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 ayandaba. Ayandaba, ayandaba, ayandaba. Wana ayandaba, 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 ayandaba. Ayandaba, ayandaba, ayandaba. Susu, baby, subramia. Suku, sunu, baby, subramia. baby, Subaramia. Soko sunu, baby, Subaramia.
Ase kwa nefo jabani si akuna nyego bamkambasi ozo. Since I was born, but now I am getting youth. Akuna mota akuna kogabu.
And there it is right there. So, pardon me, there it is right there. Here I am, there you are, here we are. So here we are, here we go again. Another day, another session with that guy, the one that talks in that peculiar voice, one man went to more. So welcome one and all. So we kick it off to round off the weekend. You know, people say, they say they are rounding off the weekend on Sunday, but that's not actually factually true, because the week actually starts from Sunday. So Sunday is actually the first day of a new week. It's not the last day of the previous week. It's the first day of a new week. So also technically, you are not actually rounding off the weekend. You are starting a new week, because the course of a week runs from Sunday to Saturday. So that's how the week runs. But good day to you. Good to be in your company. And how are you all? Hope you've had a wonderfully glorious weekend. And or you gathered your loins to go again Monday to Friday. So all that good stuff. And I think Ramadan is over now. So hopefully it went the way of our Muslim followers. All that good stuff. So all the greetings. And then, of course, the protocol as well. Click on the like button just as soon as you come in. So do that immediately and right now. If you've not already done it, do it now at the behest of my prompt. So click on the like button for all of the reasons that you already are aware of. Click on the like button because it helps the platform go up the YouTube algorithm. So do that. Click on like. If you're not already subscribed, correct that immediately and right now as well. So if the subscription button is showing as red on your screen, then you've not yet fulfilled all righteousness yet. So fulfill all righteousness by turning that subscription button from red to gray. So once it's grayed out, then you're fully in. So you fulfilled all righteousness then. So the only other righteousness you need to fulfill routinely is to click on the like button, which a lot of people should be doing as a matter of routine, as a matter of course. So click on like and subscribe. Is that rather long essay that I just spewed out? So click on like and subscribe, and then the hyperlink that says StreamYard, that invites you into the studio space. As I often say, we are always canvassing for new voices, canvassing even harder today. We need to expand the conversation, and that expansion is to freshen it up every so often. And the freshening up of the conversation is introducing new voices that gives it a different lilt, a different tilt. You know, so be that lilt or tilt by joining us. If you have a robust enough of a personality and an expansion of an understanding of the Nigerian landscape, then you're exactly the sort of person we're looking for. So click on the hyperlink that says StreamYard. Highly encouraged, not mandated, but highly encouraged. Highly encouraged to click on that hyperlink that says StreamYard. And then a lot of people, like we've been saying, we have the anticipation of 5 minimum super chats per session. So what Olatubosun did was to click on that $ at the bottom of the screen. If you're watching via YouTube, what Olatubosun did was to click on that $ at the bottom of the screen. Or not on the screen, but of the screen. So he clicked on that $ and then he put a sum in there as a tip towards the platform. So if you want to do that, join Boson in all that stuff. We have the anticipation, not the expectation, but the anticipation of a minimum of 5 super chats per session. So take us very quickly to that target. So all that funky stuff. So all that cool stuff. So now, yes, let's just launch into it since I've already done that. So let's just launch straight into it. So let's launch straight into it. And as much as we try to avoid the Peter Obi space, let's just surrender to the fact that we're going to be discussing Peter Obi pretty much every single day till 2027. So no more, you are using Obi as clickbait, or if you don't talk about Obi. Obi is always in the news headlines, always, since the pre the elections, during the elections, post the elections. This guy has been hogging the limelight all the way through. And us being a politically leaning platform, we cannot but speak about this character. So just to rest in the assurance that we'll be discussing Peter Obi pretty much from now till 2027. Hopefully, after May the 30th, 2027, we will never, ever feel the need to mention his name again. But we mention him again, and we mention him in this light, in this particular instance. You are free to leave Labour Party, NLC tells Peter Obi. So a lot of criticism that this guy that purports an ambition to govern the Nigerian state, he cannot even hold a political party together. And, we saw this with Atiku Abubakar, didn't we, during the elections, when they could not hold that party together, and Wike was essentially running rings around him, calling the shots, messing him about. He could not be assertive. He could not bring his party together. And we saw how that played out in the election. So if you cannot even hold something as small as a political party, then what then prepares you to govern something as complex as the Nigerian state? You are free to leave Labour Party, NLC tells P to B. So NLC tells P to B. So let's get straight into it. The Nigeria Labour Congress has told the presidential candidate of the Labour Party that he is free to leave the NLC. So I'm not quite sure he's a member of the NLC. So to leave the Labour Party, I should say. The spokesman of the NLC, Benson Upah, disclosed this in an interview with correspondents on Sunday. The leadership of the NLC vowed not to rest until it unseats Julius Abure as the national chairman of the Labour Party. While Upah said despite the illegal national convention that returned Abure to office, the union would never confer legitimacy or give recognition to his leadership. He said, "Our position on this matter is clear and it has not changed. Abure remains unknown to us. It is not a question of removal. As far as we know, he does not exist." So how this quite plays out, it'll be quite interesting to see how this plays out. Meanwhile, a group of retired workers under the aegis of Lagos Assembly of Labour Veterans and Trade Unionists have called for the resignation of the embattled national chairman of the party and the NLC president, Joe Ajero, over their contentious leadership struggle. So a plague on all their houses seems to be what this particular group is saying. They are calling, and if you are going to clean up that space, it really needs a branch to root clean up. And that is to say, Joe Ajero, because Joe Ajero is no longer a unionist now, is a political actor. So if he wants to leave, if he wants to be involved in politics, he can leave the labor union and go and join a political party. And Julius Abure, of course, a bad actor. So those two elements, they don't serve for any purpose that is good within that space. So this is what the Lagos Assembly is asking for. Meanwhile, a group of retired workers under the aegis of Lagos Assembly of Labour Veterans and Trade Unionists has called for the resignation of the embattled national chairman of the party and the NLC chairman, Joe Ajero, over their contentious leadership struggle. Obi has been at loggerhead with the leadership of the Labour Party over the manner it conducted the convention in Nnewi, Anambra State, despite his plea for wider consultation. The former Anambra governor, in an ex-session last Friday, expressed his frustration. Obi said he did not attend the national convention that got Julius Abure re-elected as the party's national chairman because the party's leadership failed to heed his appeal for wider consultation with relevant stakeholders before the exercise. So there's somewhat of an ambiguity in that statement. wider consultation with relevant stakeholders. What does that even mean? That's just a meaningless tautology. That is just a space filler statement, isn't it? That doesn't really commit to anything of significance, or pardon me, that doesn't really commit to pardon me, and it was a. It's just a space filler comment that doesn't really commit to anything of meaning or purpose. Obi said he did not attend the national convention that got Julius Abure re-elected as the party's national chairman because the party's leadership failed to heed his appeal for wider consultation with relevant stakeholders before the exercise. His comment has further fueled earlier speculations that the Labour Party presidential candidate may start shopping for a new platform despite being guaranteed the 2027 ticket at the convention. But Upa said the issue of whether Obi will stay or leave the party should not be debated, saying the former governor was free to determine his destiny. According to him, the NLC cannot stand in the way of the presidential candidate should he decide to defect to another political platform. Upa described Obi as an asset, saying the Congress would not stand in this way if he chose to leave. The right choice is available to Mr. Obi. If he chooses to leave the party, that is his preference. We can't sit in judgment over him on that. But if he chooses to remain, of course, Peter Obi is an asset any day. I rest my case on that. So that there it is right there. I think that these people, they are quite keen to get Obi out of their party because it stands for nothing other than the constitution of a nuisance in that space. But they want him out of the party, but they'll have to drag him out of the party. I am not leaving Labour Party, says Peter Obi. So is this a new development? The 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has debunked rumors making the rounds that he is leaving the party, insisting he stands for peaceful resolution of issues in the party. He made the remark on Sunday when he donated a borehole to Pantami Sheep Market. So this guy is really working hard, though. He donated the borehole to. So it's a borehole politics. This is what we are. This is where we are now. Our stomach infrastructure, as Afarishe told us all those months and years ago. So this, you can see the strategy, of course, hopping from one state to the other in the north, building boreholes. He made the remarks on Sunday when he donated the borehole to Pantami Sheep Market in Gombe State, a market with thousands of business owners and households. I am for peace. I believe that we are one. We are one people, and our concentration should be on peace, and I believe we will resolve all issues, Obi said when asked about the leadership crisis that has rocked the party. Obi said he was visiting various states of the country to meet the need of people, especially during the Ramadan fasting by Muslim faithfuls. The Labour Party has been also okay. So it goes on to tell us the backdrop of that. So there it is. So that's the salve and parry of all of that. You are free to leave the Labour Party. This is the NLC, because the NLC necessarily it sounds better if Peter Obi leaves Labour Party, because it makes it easier then for them to get rid of Julius Abure, clean up the space, and then start afresh. The NLC would rather a smaller party where they can control than this juggernaut that Peter Obi has created, which they don't have any influence over. So get out of our party, essentially, the dog whistle there. Get out of our party, the dog whistle there. 2027, I am not desperate to be president, say Peter Obi, who has not stopped campaigning since February 2023. Presidential candidate for the opposition party and leadership crisis-ridden Labour Party in the 2023 general election, Peter Gregory Obi, has declared unequivocally that he is not desperate to be Nigeria's president at any point in his life. Peter Obi also dismissed insinuations that he is preparing to dump the Labour Party anytime soon, saying that it is mere rumors peddled by politicians who are jittery about his political popularity in the country. He was fielding questions. So this time it was in Bauchi. He was fielding questions from journalists in Bauchi not on Sunday, even though I'm an Oyo man, so I could say Sunday, so couldn't I really? All right, where was I? Yes, he was fielding questions from journalists in Bauchi on Sunday, shortly after he commissioned a hand pump water supply in Sambolayi community, a suburb of so it's borehole politics. This is what Peter Obi is playing now, because of course if he builds that borehole for that community, a popular community, and then of course his name will be on that borehole permanently, and every time it's in use, of course the memory strikes who builds it. So that's the politics he's playing there. Right. According to him, I am not thinking of 2027. Can you imagine that? I am not thinking of 2027. If there is one person, that sleeps and wakes up only for the years to pass him by so that he lands with his destiny, it is this guy. He has no other thought in his mind other than 2027. They have big strategies, all of which, of course, does not permutate with the reality of politics. According to him, I am not thinking of 2027. My concern for now is how to improve the living standards and conditions of Nigerians. Nobody should be talking about politics now. Imagine the rank hypocrisy of it. Nobody should be talking about politics now. This is a guy that left Gombe where he commissioned a borehole, only to hop on that helicopter to Bauchi where he's commissioning another borehole. But no. Nobody should be talking about politics now. Unbelievable guy. According to him, I am not thinking of 2027. My concern now is how to improve the living standards and conditions of Nigerians. Nobody should be talking about politics now. The focus should be on good governance that will make Nigeria better. The former presidential candidate of the Labour Party stressed that the leadership crisis in the Labour Party presently is not an abnormal thing. It is an in-house problem, and it will be solved amicably as family. He further stressed that I have never thought of leaving Labour Party. I only advocated for peace because I am a man who believes in peace. I am a man who believes in unity. I am a man who believes that we are the same. I don't see any difference between you and me. By the grace of God, I always want to do the right thing. That is the reason that I came here personally. I would have asked somebody to represent me. No, you wouldn't have asked somebody to represent you now because you need to do the photo opportunities. You need to do the glad. Look, there is no criticism against the sort of politics that Peter Obi is playing. These are the cold nights when you don't want to get out of bed, but you necessarily have to get out of bed so that you can earn that salary at the end of the month. So this is the heavy lifting that he has to do for him to remain relevant in 2027. So nobody is criticized. You cannot criticize him for that now. He is doing exactly, if he has any serious ambitions towards 2027, which he patently does have. This is the sort of politics. So he's picking up new voters up and down the north because, of course, the southern space, the politics of the southern space is already settled. If until the world comes to an end, if Peter Obi's name is on the ballot box, he will get the votes of the Southeast. So we know that is already sure banker. He will get a sliver from the South. It will make micro incursions into the Southwest, but that is pretty much all of the politics of the South. So the Newfoundland now, the only thing that can really change his political trajectory is if he penetrates the North. And we are talking about penetrating the North. Exactly what he's doing now is the penetration of the North. He's going there during the moments that are important to them, fasting and all of that stuff, and then addressing things that are germane to their lives, like water, all of this sort of thing. So this is the sort of politics that he should be playing. So there's no fault in that. Ultimately, it doesn't still land him in Aso Rock because the permutations don't. But it will still ruffle feathers in 2027 without a question. So it will still get round about the same votes, by the way. Peter Obi is still going to get 5-6 million votes in 2027, or maybe 5-4 million. He's going to hold on to the vote in the southeast. Of course, he is 99%, whatever it is that whatever figures that they write there. So they write those figures and nobody will quibble it. But he will also make new converts. He will lose the votes in Lagos State, but gain micro and sort of near medium size. No, he won't get medium size. He will gain respectable votes in the north for all of this heavy lifting. So all of that permutation still permutates him to where he was in February last year. But it continues to maintain his relevance. This essentially is what he's doing. He's just really trying to maintain. And well done to him. It's not a criticism. It's an applause. It's a kudos, not a criticism. Because this is what he should be doing. Otherwise, he's dead in the waters. So, all right, let me speed through it. The former presidential candidate of the Labour Party stressed let me take it from there. The former presidential candidate of the Labour Party stressed the leadership crisis in the Labour Party. The leadership crisis in the Labour Party presently is not an abnormal thing. It is an in-house problem, and it will be resolved amicably as a family. I have never thought of leaving the Labour Party. I only advocated for peace because I am a man who believes in peace. I am a man who believes in unity. I am a man who believes that we are the same. I don't see any difference between you and me. By the grace of God, I always want to do the right thing. That is the reason I came personally. I would have sent somebody to represent me. No, I didn't. According to him, for me, it is not about elections. We spend more time talking about elections. Let us spend time talking about how we can put poor people out of poverty. So you cannot put poor people out of poverty, of course. We all know that, because there will always be the poor people amongst us. But to reduce both the threshold, what constitutes poverty, and elevate people out of that bracket. But of course, there will always be, so there should be a minimum threshold, like food, for instance, should no longer be a metric of our poverty. So everybody, for the abundance that we have in that country, food should not be a metric of our poverty. So according to him, for me, it is not about elections. We spend more time talking about elections. Let us spend our time talking about how we can put poor people out of poverty. So that should be pull, of course, poor people out of poverty. Let's spend time to know how out of school children will be back in school. Let's spend time on other areas. So this is a guy politicking hard and telling, anyway, that's just the character of the man, isn't it? But who is the audience for this, by the way? I don't think there are any new converts that will be converted by this rather feeble-handed attempt at subterfuge. Nobody of a serious mind, nobody outside of it. It's only really that is already converted adherents. They will lap this up and go round their watering holes and howl at the moon. But nobody, no serious-minded person will buy into this is not the time for politics, as this guy politics, campaigns aggressively up and down the country relentlessly on a daily basis. So I don't know who he's speaking to when he says things like that. So it says, for me, it is not about politics. We spend more time talking about politics. Let us spend time talking about how we can pull the poor out of poverty. Let's spend time to know how to school children, to know how out of school children will be back in school. Let's spend time in other areas. It is not about elections. So he said that he added, I have said it before that I am not desperate to be president. I don't quite know who is more desperate. I would say marginally, Atiku Abubakar is probably more desperate than Peter Obi to be president, but he's as desperate can be. It's desperadoi to, if there's such a, that's a new coinage to be president. Desperate. Right. Hold on. It is not about elections, he added. I have said it before. I am not desperate to be president. I am desperate to see Nigeria work for the people. It is important for me because we cannot continue this way. We cannot continue this way. We cannot continue this way. Yes. What was that again? Yes, it is important for me because we cannot continue this way. Poor people in this country are suffering a lot. I am urging all leaders in and out of office. This is time for us to listen to the people. It is time to walk with them, time to feel a bit of their pain. So I think that's already in the works, all of the things we're seeing going on. Peter Obi stressed the crisis in the Labour Party will be resolved, just like I have been saying, and at the end, things will get better. Labour Party is not the problem of Nigeria. The problem of Nigeria is beyond Labour Party. So shut up and mind your business is what he's saying there. So my focus is not on the Labour Party, but on Nigeria. So, well, your focus can be on Nigeria, but you are just a private citizen. My focus is on Nigeria too. So I'm not quite sure why, what that means, that his focus is on Nigeria. You as who is your focus on Nigeria? You don't have anything that he's a private citizen. That's all Peter Obi is, and that's all he has been since he pretty much left the State House in Oka. So what is your focus is on Nigeria, like, as though you can do or effect anything that would enhance or that could enhance or diminish the country. Your focus can be, my focus is on Nigeria too. I stream about it every day. I probably do more for Nigeria than this guy. Right. I am desperate. So sorry, I'll get through this very quick. I think I've spent too much time on this particular piece. Let me just round it off. I am desperate to see Nigeria work for the people. It is important for me because we cannot continue this way. Poor people in this country are suffering a lot. I urge all leaders in and out of office. This is the time for us to listen to the people. It is time to work with them, time to feel their pain. The crisis in the Labour Party will be resolved just like I have been saying. And at the end, things will get better. Labour Party is not the problem of Nigeria. The problem of Nigeria is beyond Labour Party. So my focus is not on the Labour Party, but on Nigeria. My promise is a new Nigeria, and that new Nigeria is what I am focused on. It is important that we all remain focused on it. So yes, look, you see, this narrative is a peppy little catchphrase, and you need peppy little, you need peppy little buzz phrases as a politician. Something that is potent, pungent, and resonates. So potent, pungent, and resonates, and that is all encapsulated in those words. We need a new Nigeria, but they are vacuous words. They are words devoid of meaning. Because for every new administration, you get a new Nigeria. So whether that new Nigeria is better than the previous Nigeria or worse than the previous Nigeria is certainly not the Nigeria you've always known. So look at the goings on now. They've removed arbitrage, and these prices have skyrocketed. So that's a new Nigeria right there. Is it a better Nigeria? Some people will argue that it is not, but is it a necessary Nigeria? Some people will argue that it is. And is it a brighter future Nigeria? There's an argument both ways, but it's certainly a new Nigeria. So this any Nigeria, it is this. Anyway, I don't want to anyway, you all know what he's like. Anyway, I don't like to slam him all the time, but it just makes it so easy. My promise is a new Nigeria. And that new Nigeria is what I am focused on. It is important we all remain focused. If we fixed the leadership problems in the country, in Nigeria, I would not have been here to provide this water. So let us talk about issues of this water. Let us talk about how the people live and eat. I assure that Labour Party will resolve its issues as a family. No family is perfect. So that is Peter Obi then telling us then that he will remain in Labour Party. But I believe that when I see it, because of course, we already know his reputation as a fair weather politician. Fair weather politician, but still in the throes of parties in crisis. Atiku Wike battle for PDP. Atiku Wike battle for PDP intensifies ahead of NEC meeting. So who owns the land? Who owns the land? Who owns Papa's land? Was that not Majek Fashek or Blackie or whoever? So who owns the land? Who owns the land? Who owns Papa's land? Atiku Wike battle for PDP intensifies ahead of NEC meeting. So what's going on? I'll try and be quick with this one. Ahead of the National Executive Committee meeting of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, scheduled for April the 18th, there is palpable tension over the battle for the control of the party's National Working Committee by the camps of the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Yemson Wike. Correspondent. So it's going to be a dollar battle, but to the disadvantage of Atiku Abubakar, Wike has the purse of the central bank, and Atiku only has what is left of what is stole, which is still a significant amount, but that's the battle right there. Central bank versus Atiku Abubakar, they fight it out for PDP. Ahead of the National Executive ahead of the National Executive Committee meeting of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, scheduled for April the 18th, there is palpable tension over the battle for the control of the party's National Working Committee by the camps of the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Yemson Wike. The tension emanated from revelations that Wike will remain in the PDP and work for the All Progressive Congress APC in the 2027 presidential election, while Atiku will contest for the PDP's presidential ticket. The North Central is expected to present its anointed candidate for the position of the party's national chairman to the NEC on April the 18th. So when we find out who the chairman of the PDP is, it will tell us it could well tell us who the next president will be in 2027. And by the way, when I say next president, that's not to say that the subsisting president is replaced, because you press reset, of course, during an election. So even if it's retained, if it's returned, it's still the next president. But the chairman of the PDP, which we will find out, I think, in the course of 10 days, it will pretty much tell us for certainty who the president will be in 2027. The North Central is expected to present its anointed candidate for the position of the party's national chairman to NEC on April the 18th. Former governor of Benue State, Senator Gabriel Soswam, and former Minister of Police, Humphrey Abba, have indicated an interest in succeeding the sacked substantive national chairman, Senator Iyoche Ayu. However, the two contenders who are also from Benue State, where Ayu hails from, have refused to publicly align with Atiku or Wike's camp for strategic reasons, as such move may backfire and cost any of them the position. Correspondents gathered that with Wike's body language, which indicates that he will likely work for the APC in the 2027 presidential election, stakeholders in the PDP are concerned that if the parties, and by the way, the stakeholders in the PDP, they should not really be permutating for 2027, they should be permutating for 2031. because their politics is not in 2027. They are not going to replace Tinubu in 2027 now. So they might as well forgo that and play a long politics, because there is no vacancy in 2027 as far as Tinubu is concerned, and the contenders will be Tinubu, Peter Obi, and then maybe a strong northerner that will come out of the SDP, but certainly the PDP not in play. So they only come into play when power transits back to the north. So they should play the long game, and that is the wicked game. Pardon me. However, the two contenders, who are also from Benue State, where Ayu hails from, have refused to publicly align with Atiku or Wike's camp for strategic reasons, as such move may backfire and cost any of them the position. Correspondents gathered that with Wike's body language, which indicates that he will likely work for the APC. What is the meaning of he will likely work for the APC in 2027? Is he going to mount the campaign storms and criticize APC, he being the minister of the FCT, one of the most plumb jumps in Nigeria under that party, but of course he's going to work for APC's return in 2027. It's not a matter of likely. Correspondents gathered that with Wike's body language, which indicates that he will likely work for the APC in the 2027 presidential election, stakeholders in the PDP are concerned that if the party's structure slips into his hands, he will weaken the party to pave the way for the victory of the APC. Wike had said severally that he would not contest against President Bola Tinubu in 2027, which implied that, him not contesting is not to say that his party will not. It's telling you that his own personal ambition would not conflict against Tinubu. So that's just what that means. Wike, who had said severally that he would not contest against President Tinubu in 2027, which implied that he will work for the re-election of the president against his party's presidential candidate, as he did in the 2023 general election. So that's a leap to assumption. It's probably true, but his critics believe his strategy is to seize the PDP structure and further weaken the party to ensure an easy ride for the APC in 2027. Wike claims to be in PDP. He has refused to resign officially, but is working for the APC administration. If he's handed over the party structure, he will weaken it for the APC to retain power in 2027. It is for this reason that there is palpable tension in the party over who will have the upper hand in the battle to control the soul of the party by both camps. Correspondence, is that enough of that? So I think that's enough of that. I think I overlabeled that, but I think the general thrust of that. So the general thrust of that, Atiku, presidency clashes, presidency clashes over ex-VP's comment on Lagos-Calabar highway project. So I'm not quite sure why a lot of people are lampooning, which is one of the biggest projects in Africa so far. The presidential candidate of the People's Democrat, the 2023 presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, alleged that President Bola Tinubu puts personal business interest before Nigerian infrastructure. Atiku stated that the Tinubu administration is engaged in questionable dealings amidst the development of the 700-kilometer Lagos-Calabar coastal highway. The federal government recently announced the start of construction of the 700-kilometer Lagos-Calabar coastal highway. The Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, revealed this information in a statement issued last week by his special advisor, XYZ. Umahi mentioned that the contractor commenced work following the formal handover of the initial phase of the project, comprising 47.47 kilometers of dual carriageway to High-Tech Construction Company Limited. So I think that's where the conflict of interest comes in, because a lot of people associate that High-Tech company with Tinubu. Reacting to Umahi's statement, the former vice president, in a statement by his media coordinator, Paul Ibe, on Sunday alleged that the project's allocation to Gilbert Chagri's high-tech construction company, devoid of any documented competitive bidding process or decision by the federal executive. He said, Umar refused to reveal how much the project will cost. I think they said it will cost 11 point something billion dollars. He only explained that it would run through 9 states and would have a railroad running through the middle. Most importantly, the works minister said the project would come at zero cost to Nigeria, which is currently facing an all-time high level of debt. So if it's coming at zero cost, then that is to tell you then that it's been, but how is it funded and how is the recouping of the money? I don't quite know. Article clarified that the project's concept was build, operate, and transfer, indicating that high-tech would construct the road, operate it for a certain period, recoup its investment through toll gates, and subsequently return it to the Nigerian government. The statement reads in part, because the project did not require public funds, it did not go through approval from the National Assembly, which holds the power of appropriation. Also, the project only went through the Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission with no record of a competitive bidding since Chagri's company was to fund the project 100%. However, to the shock of many Nigerians, Umari returned to the FEC with a memo on March 2024, seeking the approval of 1.006 trillion that will be paid to Chagri's farm for the first phase of the project, which is wholly in Lagos. This pilot phase was to begin from the edge of Chagri's Eco-Atlantic City at Ahmedu Bello Way, Victoria Island, and terminate at Lekki Deep Sea Port, Ibeju Lekki, a distance of 47.47 kilometers till date. The Tinubu administration, so shady the links there. So let me just leave that there. So I'm conscious that it's long and winding now, all these readouts. So that's our article making allegations and the government clapping back. Let me just run through a lot of. I'll give you this as a readout, and then a lot of it I'll just give you as headlines. Onwuanibe breaks silence over demolition notice on landmark resort. So it's still in the realms of that coastal highway. The CEO of Landmark Group, Paul Onwuanibe, pardon me, the CEO of Landmark Group, Paul Onwuanibe, has said he is in talks with the federal government and Lagos state government to avoid planned demolition of his Landmark Beach Resort for the construction of the superhighway. Lagos state government recently gave the Lagos state government listed parts of the property that will be demolished to make way for the road, to include the beach resort, Kids and Bay Arena, Members Area, and Lagos Beach Club. Reacting on his verified Twitter handle, Onwuanibe said, "Some of you may have seen the demolition notice circulating on social media. I have been inundated with calls, texts, and messages from friends, family, and concerned stakeholders and well-wishers regarding the construction of the Lagos-Calabar coastal road and the potential destruction of several tourism and socio-economic impact businesses located within the road's proposed right-of-way. I wish to confirm that we are in active talks with various arms of the federal and state government, including the Lagos state government, the federal and state ministries of tourism, the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing, as well as several interest groups, and have received firm assurances that there will be no disruption to business whilst we work to agree win-win solutions including rerouting the 1.5 kilometer. So they're actually discussing somewhat rerouting part of the, so that's the flexibility of it. So he has to give a little and they have to give a little too. It's essential. So he's not militant and he's not going to tribe. It's not what's delight, unlike people like that property dealer in Abuja and people like Alan Oyema who rush to tribe. I wish to confirm that we're in active talks with various arms of the federal and state governments, including the Lagos state government, the federal and state ministries of tourism, and the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing, as well as several interest groups, and have received firm assurances that there will be no disruptions to business whilst we work to agree win-win solutions, including rerouting the first 1.5 kilometer out of the 700-kilometer stretch of the road to its original location along the undeveloped Water Corporation Road medium. So it looks as though they actually reject the plan for that coastal road. That was why it's affected this guy's business now. So it's trying to redirect them to the original plan. We believe that with careful collaboration and consultation, a small number of other minor reroutes may be required to sustain the existing socio-economic activity along the course of the road. I believe the coastal road is a commendable project by the government, which will significantly boost the economy. And this is what we've been explaining to a lot of people. You have a superhighway traversing 9 states, and the economy that brings, it opens up those spaces to the national wider space, and it doubles and quadruples the economy. That's just the basics of it. I believe the coastal road is a commendable project by the government, which will significantly boost the economy, and engaged consultation as are ongoing will help determine ways of developing the road whilst preserving the landmark group ecosystem that are remitting billions of naira to. So it's talking about how much it pays in tax. It says, okay. So let's leave that there. I think we get the gist of that. I think we get the gist of that. How influential Northern governor forced me to create a militia group. So this is the Miyetti Allah leader now, who is now showing contrition after flapping feathers when they first arrested him. The embattled leader of the Miyetti Allah Katohare, Bello Bodejo, has accused Governor Abdullahi Sule of Natural State of being the brain behind his move to establish the ethnic militia group XYZ, whatever their name is. All right, so there it is. The enemies of the state slowly being unraveled. So I'll give you this one. These CEOs led the best performing stocks on the stock market in Q1 2024. Let me just see if we can get their names. Dr. Lars Riker, Managing Director, Julius Berger Nigeria Limited. So count is a foreigner. Andrew M. Ekekwa, Managing Director in some insurance company. Owen Omogafo. So this one sounds like an Edo sort of a girl. Transnational Corp. So Transcorp, that Dr. Mrs. So that's that Juggernaut Hotel. Adaobi Nwakuche, Managing Director some insurance company. So these are the biggest performers in the Nigerian Stock Exchange seem to be mainly women. Chief Adebimpe Giwa, GMD, Triple G and Company. So she's a top end as well. Ayodele, something or the other. BUA, so he's Rabiu's party man. So these are the top performers in industry. This is Avrid Patar. So he's the one that runs the Dangote Group. Akin Femiwa. So Geregu Power PLC. So he's the one that is ensuring that you don't get any electricity. So those are the top performers the stock exchange. Nigeria's FX reserve dips by $1.02 billion in 18 days as CBN's on CBN's Naira defense. So it's getting more expensive to defend the Naira than just to let it. APC will reclaim Delta State in 2027 or more. So let's see that, then we'll believe it. Let me see. Is there one more? Yes, how Nasarawa governor pressured me to establish militia group, Miyetti Allah leader tells investigators. So we already touched on that. Plenty of space in the studio. Anybody that wants to jump on. We'll play the Kegite music, come into the room, and then we'll see where we go from there. Let's look for the Kegite music, as we always do. Right, as we look for the Kegite music, we acknowledge the super chat from Ayo and Bosun. The compliment is 5. We've got 3 so far. So minimum of 5 super chats per session, as we say. So 2 more. Fill those slots as you listen to the Kegite.
Only water, where they see ma. You don't come home. Hapa o naido. Oro keke elemu ye o. Ide shodi ya kekere elemu re o. Bobby master kekere elemu re o. Chief Latif kekere elemu re o. Erukulele elemude. Erukulele egbe elemudodo jare o. Erukulele Ghana ti de everybody o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹyẹ o òdìlé o. Odúyẹlá ẹyẹ o òdìlé o. Petrosoname ẹyẹ o òdìlé o. Petrosodunke ẹyẹ rẹ òdìlé o. Ẹlẹ́kọ̀ ọ̀run mú ìní o. Àkùkọ ọ̀run mẹ́kọ̀. Ikú kò ní ríwà gbéṣe o.
So there it is right there. Àkùkọ ọ̀run mẹ́kọ̀. The cockroach of the heavens don't crow yet. Iku kò ní ríwà gbéṣe. May death have nothing to do with us. So Iku kò ní ríwà gbéṣe. So Ekene joins us. Always a delight when Ekene is here. Solid joins us. Hopefully is both here in body and spirit. Ajande Koko in the house as well. So that makes up the compliment. So thank you, gentlemen. Let's kick it off with Ekene if it's ready to go. Ekene. All right. Hopefully people can hear me. This is how we seem to be starting these days.
Yeah, we can hear you, one man.
Yes. I just wanted to see if Ekene is there. Ekene, are you there?
It seems it's not here.
All right. So we default to you then. Not that we default to you, of course. We like to save you till later, but let's kick it off. Let's kick it off with
you want to kick it off with my boy Soli.
All right, sorry, how far?
I will
I'm
not
not
cry.
sleeping
So
this
that I will not
time.
cry like a baby. So that
You always say, I did never let me talk. You never let me talk. Okay, we're letting
Yes,
you
now
talk now. Sorry.
you see the moment one man sees me there, one man will quickly start saying, there's plenty space, so there's plenty space.
so Mama, you can see it now. You can see it now.
Yeah.
Pick it up with
All
you.
ọmọ nǹkan tó ń ṣe ni ò ṣe Sunday lóbìnrin. Imagine Sunday as a girl. My God. Àwọn tó máa bẹ́ sódò ló máa pọ̀ jù. Just.
All right, kick it off with Sully. All right.
All right, Sully, how far? How about it?
I'm good. Just, doing a lot of stuff. Been busy. How is everyone on the platform except Mike?
Everybody is fine, including Mike. Everybody is.
I don't know to know what's going on with that Mike. Till he apologizes.
He has already apologized now. What we're just accusing you of now, look at this guy.
Is it a fight to finish with?
It's a fight to finish, till I hear the apology personally. Because you can't kick me out because you want to start toasting woman. I will not forgive that.
Okay.
But what better reason that to kick you out than to toast a woman? Where it's a man that has his priorities right now.
You don't bring down that man for women. No. That's not good bro code.
Yeah, that's true. All right, maybe no. All right, to the politics of it. When do you want to kick it off? Do you want to speak to something, or is there anything you are looking at before we start launching into the talking points?
Just few things. I was looking at what this Sanusi was saying, but that's
yes, I saw it. It was saying that corruption is worse than homosexuality. Is that what is it? That
yes, that's what I was looking at. But when I was reading through the comments, I knew it. Before I even saw the comments, I already knew that Nigerians will not get their priorities right. They were already complaining that is this supporting homosexuality?
No, when I saw that headline, it struck me as a very, very odd thing to say.
Yes, it's because
or the odd comparison to make. Why compare to that out of all things that you can say is worse than?
If you see the way an average Nigerian behaves with homosexuality, you would realize that they have the energy to push something that they feel is not good. But once it comes into politics and they see somebody doing something worse, see, all these people that are homosexual, it's not affecting your life, it's not affecting your daily living, it's not affecting your feeding, your money, your finances in any single way. When you drive and go to work, it's not affecting the
What about moral decadence?
How is it affecting them?
Moral decadence? How does it not affect them? Moral decadence.
Average Nigerian, one man. How does it affect any average Nigerian? It doesn't affect them.
It does. It decays society. It decays society. It's a conservative space now. It decays society.
Yes, but right now, how does it affect the average Nigerian?
That's what I'm saying now. Moral decadence. There's a permissiveness to it that rouse against the norms of how the society is structured, which permeate all through the strata of society.
Which one is more important, the daily living and surviving as a Nigerian, or the moral?
It's part of it now. It's not either or now. The moral fabric of society is embedded into how people live. It's acceptability now, right and wrong, which affects how you function on a daily basis.
So when all those beggars are on the roads, homosexuality is affecting them?
No, it's not one or the other now. It's part of the wider. You see, this is the thing we do in Nigeria. We'll say he has not done this, then he's doing that. No, it's not. You can walk and chew gum. It's still a problem, whether beggars are on the streets or not.
Okay, one man. Most of these homosexual people are there because of hunger and starvation.
No.
Yes.
No, they are there because that is the way they are wired.
No.
Are you saying it's a lifestyle choice?
Yes, it has always been a choice. Look,
You miss it. They find it in the animal kingdom. It's not a lifestyle choice.
It is a lifestyle choice.
It is not a lifestyle choice.
Even in the animal
in the animal kingdom is
it is a lifestyle choice.
All right.
And they do it because they cannot find partners. In the human scheme, is mostly brought from abuse or hunger.
No, I'm not sure that you should be saying that, or you should be allowed to say that. There are come on now. Solly, there are people that the way they are. We carry all the chromosomes of both genders. Every single human being. And it is just the abundance of one set of chromosomes or the other that determines what gender you come out as. So you could just as easily be a woman as be a man. And some people are psychologically, physiologically, there's even people that are cross gender. Okay, carry on. I'm going to play you some clip now. There are people that there are even people that straddle both genders. I think I was actually going to bring it up as a topic of this discussion. So I pulled it. Let me just play you. Let me play you. There's some things that you may not fully know. Sorry. Let me play you this clip. Listen to this.
I'll be happy to see that clip. Or
no, it's not anything lewd or graphic. It's just an example of it's just an example that really defeats I don't have it. All right, carry on. You may not be able to say because I have it on a different system.
My rebuttal is I can bet and I can guarantee that I've spoken to more homosexual people than you have. Okay, and
how do you know that?
I can gamble my life on it. You are not your man.
So what? I have lived in the UK for quite a long time.
You are not sitting down and having conversations. I don't see it happening. But I do.
Can you hear anything from? Can you hear this? Can you? Oh, okay. I want you to listen to this person. And I'm using the word person deliberately. Listen to this.
I be girl, I be boy. Okay. When you look down here, I be boy. But when you go up, I be girl. I get so many questions to answer. I know if you answer all the questions one day. Guys, but I'm here to answer this one particular question when we say almost everybody they ask me. Number one question when we say almost everybody they ask me. They ask me whether I be girl or I be boy. Answer to that question. I be girl. I be boy too. So now the two I be. So some people they say, how is that possible? Guys, if you don't know, read about them for Google. Google will tell you. Some go say, since you get a roller, you also get Bekus joiner. The answer is yes. Why some go still tell me say, okay, since you get the both sides, so why you know they use the Bekus take the knack? Instead they use the roller take the knack. I don't come to answer everybody when they always ask me that particular question. Why are they use the roller, the knack, when I know they use the Bekus? Now because of heartbreak. I they use the Bekus before I they use the Bekus. But now I know they use them again. Time when I they use the Bekus, I they date man, I they date guys. But since none of them take advantage of me, I could change to be boy.
All right. So that's enough of that. But you get the thrust of it. So that's somebody. I think they call them hermaphrodites.
Yes, that is an hermaphrodite.
So no. The point I'm making to you is that it's not necessarily a lifestyle choice. Some people are just born, and I'm not using this woman as the example. Some people psychologically, they are psychologically female, even though. Carry on.
This is an unfair example because you used an hermaphrodite for this example. I'm not talking about hermaphrodites. I'm talking about full-blown male. Full, not hermaphrodites. I know hermaphrodites. I know their case is different.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking. I know you're talking about full-blown males, but I'm telling you that using this example, there are people psychologically that they are wired to be as a gender opposite to their birth gender.
I will not agree, because you are using a very unfair example, which is an hermaphrodite. We are not speaking about hermaphrodites. Hermaphrodites are a special case. It's a biological disorder. What we are talking about is a mental disorder. Those are two very different cases. This woman or man is not coming here to come and claim some mental disorder. She's talking about a specific biological disorder. What we are speaking about are mental disorders. Like I said, I have spoken to a lot of homosexual people, and when you say, oh, some people are wired like that, it is a very minor amount of the whole scale.
All right, but you still concede that some are wired like that.
The only reason why I can concede that is because maybe they are not telling me the full story. Majority of the people I've spoken to have either gone through abuse when they were younger or some form of mental trauma. It's always that. It is always that. Or they were paid for gay. And what that means is somebody is paying you to be gay. Majority of them, if you put 100%, it is 70 to 80% of them. So does the minority matter in that case? The minority doesn't matter.
All right, get back to Sanusi. I'm not quite sure that you know fully about that space.
What I'm saying is that it doesn't really affect their daily lives. When you wake up and you are hungry, who is causing it? Is it the homosexuals or is it the politicians? So when you are hungry and you are angry, why don't you have that same energy for your hatred for homosexuals with the politicians? You see them, they complain online, but if politicians come there now, they will start bowing down. So that's what Sanusi is trying to point out. I don't think he's talking to us in the South. I think he's talking to his people in the North. You know, it's just for them to sit down to think about it, because I don't think they will. It's only the people in the South that will start getting angry when you say things like that. I feel the people in the North think more and say less, but that's all up to them. Of course, I don't see their actions in what they do, in what they think or say. So, yeah. Now, for Peter Obi,
yes.
You know, one man, you are being very generous when you are telling me you get maybe 3 to 5 million votes. I don't see this guy getting 2 million votes. I don't see it. They will use projects to diminish anything he has to say, because Nigerians, not even Nigerians, humans in general, go with what they see. You know, even all those 90% vote, 80% votes that you are talking about that you retain, it will reduce. It will reduce. He will still have majority of the votes, but it will reduce, because the last time they voted, people were forced to vote for him. They were bullied to vote for him, and they were threatened with what's this thing where everyone doesn't, you know, they leave you. It's a mental thing that they do. They leave you out of the group, so they threaten to not associate with you because you don't want to vote for this guy. All that nonsense.
Excommunicate.
Yes, they threatened to excommunicate people. They kept on talking about they were beating Igbo people in Lagos, but they were also doing it in the Southeast, you know, to vote for him. So all that nonsense will die out. They will start seeing projects. The projects will be the amount of projects. See, most of the projects going on in the Southeast is only the Southeast people that will enjoy it. People in the North are not going to enjoy it. People in the West are not going to enjoy it. They are the only ones that are going to enjoy it. A lot of people, after enjoying it, they will still not want to vote for Tinubu, but a lot of people will still vote for him. If he's trying to cut the people in the North, by the time those ones see projects, they will forget about him. They are not going to forget about the things that he said when he was talking about holy war. They even if they didn't like him, now they have a reason not to like him, and they are going to stick to it. So he's just wasting his time. I just feel like he's using all these things to make money. That's the only thing that I see. He's using it to make money. I feel like he knows he's not going to win anything. He knows he's not going to get anywhere, but he wants to just use that followership to make money. The same thing Simon Ekpa was doing, or is doing, is the same thing all those Onwuanibe or whatever, that guy that is always stressing in Lagos. is doing. Once they see that they are not going to win something, they start trying to siphon money from
I wouldn't go that far. I'm not sure that. I think Obi still has a genuine ambition for that election. Because 2027 is his last opportunity to be anywhere near that. So he might as well give it his all. And this is what he's doing now, giving it his all.
His all is always too late. Remember, before the months, almost a year before the elections went on, they were saying, why is this guy not going to the north? This guy is always 10 steps behind. Why is he not going to the north? After election, he now started going to the north. All the things that we're saying, and they were saying, oh, we are just saying this one, we are being tribalist, we are saying this one, that he will do it when it's time. He never did all those things till after election. He's always 10 steps behind. Now he's doing election 3 years, and the election is in the next 3 years. He's wasting his effort because you are showing everybody your hand. You are showing, you can't be playing poker and be shouting to everybody and playing poker. By the time it's ready, everybody is ready to play the poker. They already know your gameplay. They already know your cards. They already know, you are revealing everything to them 3 years before. They already know your game plan. They already know the people you are talking to. You are literally exposing it to them. Do you see any of them exposing in their own plans? He's always 10 steps behind. And that's because he's not a good politician. He's just somebody that has been given everything that he has ever accomplished. Everything he has accomplished has been given to him. It's just like a rich, spoiled kid that finally has to work in the real world. He will not know how to do anything by himself. So you are giving which 5 million votes? Which 5 million? If he gets 3 million, he's lucky. Or 2 million self. Always 10 steps behind. But his followers don't want to see they don't care, man. They don't care about the truth. That's why they keep on losing. You are generous. You are being too generous.
All right. Let me take you to another space. Atiku Wike battle for PDP intensifies ahead of NEC meeting. So similar to Labour Party, the PDP, they're trying to determine who the chairman of that party will be. Internal crisis, of course. So the two heavyweights within that space, Atiku Abubakar and Yemsen Wike, they're now wrestling to determine whose candidate will be the chairman of that party. What politics do you think Wike is playing in that space? Open it with that.
Well, I don't know much about this PDP party politics. If Atiku wins this battle, I see PDP going down because that guy is too greedy. That guy, he only has foresight for himself. He's a very self-centered person, and he's trying to take advantage of the Southeastern people again. I don't know why they keep on letting this happen. They keep on hating on Wike, but Wike and this Hope Uzodimia, forgive me, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but I'll just say Hope. They are the only ones that used to fight for the Southeast people, But the way they do it, Southeasterners don't like it. You will see them still supporting this article that cheated their own Peter Obi, that allowed their own Peter Obi to leave the party, that promised to bring the presidential this thing. They made up that things that we are doing right now in Nigeria. I would say the presidency must go from north to south. He cheated them on that also. But the hatred for him is not there. So Atiku is just going to bring this whole party down crashing because of his ambitions that he will never get to. So it just depends on the people in the party. And what Wike is doing makes supreme sense. Why will you cut all your losses and drag the party down when you can still work with this APC and give the party life? That is what a good politician does. Atiku is one of the worst politicians ever. I don't have much knowledge on this party issue, but that's the way I see it from my point of view. He's just trying to take advantage of the Southeastern people again, as he has always been doing. Hello?
Sorry, I stepped away for a moment. So thank you, Solly. Let me take you to one more space, and then we go on from you to we'll see if Ekene is ready. If it's not, and then we move conversation round. The coastal highway, the guy at the center of it, he's now coming to say that is in negotiations with the state government and the federal space. So he's not as militant as his followers are. But are you following that space, and what are you making of it?
The coastal highway that is supposed to, are you talking about specific, what are you talking about? Because I see that you're putting on the screen on the landmark results. Is it about the landmark?
No. If you're not, are you familiar with that storyline? They are building a coastal highway through from Calabar all the way to Lagos, traversing about 9 states, and it's going to impinge on this guy's resort. And there's a lot of conversations around that. So if you're not familiar with it, I can just take it somewhere else.
I know just a little bit about it. It's mostly the people in the Southeast that will benefit from it again.
No, it's not. No, it's not. So
are they not building railway also on that track?
Yes, they are.
I haven't seen much about the project. I've just been hearing about it. I've not seen the full scale. They said that there's a video about it that will show everything that is going to be done there. So I don't know much about it. I don't really know much about it.
All right, brilliant. Let me take you to this space then. How Nasarawa governor pressurized me to establish militia group. This is the Miyetti Allah leader who was picked up by the authorities, now singing like a canary.
I don't know much about these people's wahala, so I've just been focusing on Southwest since they said I'm a tribalist. I don't know much about this. So.
All right, brilliant. Okay, stay there. Let me move the conversation on from you. Let's take it to Prince Daddy, and then from Prince Daddy, it's a Kenneth there. It's probably asleep. We'll wake up for the after hours, I'm sure. Let's take it to Prince Daddy, and then from Prince Daddy we'll come to Ajane Koko. Prince, are you there?
Oh, yeah. Hello, woman. Yeah, how you doing?
Hey, good to have you, Prince. Always a delight. What's up? We thought we were locked in the basketball circuit, and you no longer had time to come and make noise.
Not quite. I mean, I was listening to the background. I mean, it's been some interesting past couple of days on the platform, but yeah.
All right, brilliant. Where do you want to come into it? Is there anything you would like to speak to, or do you want me to talk you through?
Didn't listen. Didn't really hear the readout, but I heard I guess the headline regarding Lamido's trying to see talking about or comparing corruption and homosexuality. Is that
yes, it says corruption is worse than homosexuality, but I wondered why he had to make that compare. He could say corruption is worse than so many other things. So why that? So that was why that, yeah.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Actually, I would like to know myself why that comparison. I wish that there's more details to that. It's quite I'm not sure if it's strange, but it is quite interesting coming from I guess a northerner, also being an Islamic scholar. It is interesting. Yeah.
But they do have
a conversation with Sally kind of diverge into. He played a video then talking about what if I guess Sully doesn't believe that homosexuality is a thing or is a choice. I think he says a choice.
No, he feels it's wholly a choice. And I was trying to convince him that sometimes some people are just born like that. There's a strong element of lifestyle choice to just so many that we see now, but there are also people that are born that way. That's just what I was trying to, which I think you probably disagree with.
I disagree.
Prince.
Yeah, people born that way. Okay, see, I have a different take, of course, on this topic. It is true in today's world, in today's social media world, a lot of people are what you call them, used to be closet homosexual, but now you have fashionable or fashion homosexual or gay people. Some people think it's really cool. In actuality, their sexuality doesn't portend to that, but they love that lifestyle, that the whole atmosphere or the environment this LGBTQ thing brings. Some people really enjoy it, and they are straight people, and they pretend to be one. And in fact, not only do they pretend, they actually indulge also. So those people, maybe they can be put in a different category. But for most people, they cannot explain the phenomenon. They cannot. They're like they can't explain it, and it always has a root for a lot of people. A lot of people tell you, "Oh, when I was 5 years old or whatever, I was abused by this and that," and since then.
Oh, are you on the same strap line as Solly? That is a consequence of something happening rather than something innate to their being.
Oh, if it said, well, that is true. Yeah, well, it's not for every single one of them, but okay, there's something. Well, it's more spiritual. That's the bottom line than anything. When that abuse, for example, occurs, you know, when abuse occurs to children, for example, it creates something else that's a vacuum to be filled, which is spiritual, and also many times the reason why children come out the way they are in that way is because of their parents. Also, what their parents did, where they've been to. It's a whole plethora of reasons why people become this, thing. Many of them don't have control over it. They think it's natural as heterosexual person, but if you want to get to the bottom of it, one man, to have a better grasp of it, you have to explore the spiritual angle of it. Personally, for a very long time, I've always thought it's a what do you call it, a birth defect, like someone being born blind or crippled. That's what I've always thought. But I later found out, over the years that it's beyond that, and the position in which I am right now makes a whole lot more sense to me than my previous assertion. But anyway, yeah.
One man, out of curiosity, you might just want to just sit down with one of them and ask them how they knew that they were who they were. Without judgment, hear the story from the beginning to the end. Talk to at least 10, or not even 10, 5. Then you understand if it's a choice or not. Give them.
Well, yeah, but sorry, you can sit down with them and they can tell you in details, but it doesn't mean that they have a grasp of the underlying.
Yes, they usually don't. They usually don't see the connection. They usually don't see the connection, but you from the other side will see it.
Yeah, but it's called, well, in the most, I guess, direct term, it's called the spirit of a man or a spirit of a woman. That's what it's called in the spiritual world, if you want to put it that way. So a man behaving like a woman is being possessed by the spirit of a woman. That's what it is. And vice versa for a woman or a girl. That's what it is. Yeah. But I for many of them, a few for them, I guess. I mean, well, those of them that don't feel that.
How do you explain it also being seen in the animal kingdom?
It's not existing in the animal kingdom. Quite
it is not.
It is not.
It is existent.
I've heard you said it before.
But one man, why do you know it's existent?
Well, because it seems so scientific proof and documentation or whatever.
They've used it so often, and then I went to research it, and all the evidence said that it replicates in the animal kingdom, even in the plant, amongst plants even. there's a same gender cross-pollination.
Now, see, this what you call it? No, I guess quack or crooked scientists. They can make anything.
No, it's actually true. It's actually true.
I don't,
Especially between penguins.
Penguins.
It's
no, it's not true.
Just Google it. You will see.
See, I'm not trying to dispute that you have the facts as it is known to you or to the rest of the world. I'm not disputing that at all. That there are facts out there to support it. But I'm telling you that these facts are dubious at best because these people are manipulators. Okay, how many years ago did Darwin talk about the evolution of man, how we came from apes and all this nonsense garbage? And this were in the circles of intellectuals, the best brains in the world. We're talking about this, debating it, and pushing these ideas. Okay, and it was widely accepted and propagated around the world. But Darwinism
are you also disputing? You are disputing that as well? Oh God. Yeah. Okay, so creationism versus Darwinism. So that's that. Oh God. Okay, now I know. Okay, so that explains everything. So you don't believe the evolution, the Darwinist or Darwinian?
I don't believe too. Woman, I'm
surprised. Woman, tell me which part do you believe? I mean, I do believe that over time that
it's not which one do I believe. Which one is more believable? That somebody just say a man is created and then a being appears, or you evolve?
That's actually absolutely the easiest thing for me to believe. Okay, I mean, for a godless mind, of course, that's far from reality and it's inconceivable. But to me, it's very, very believable. I mean, it's very believable. I mean, and even the scientists today are beginning to, science reveals God's work or creation. That's what science does. Science doesn't create anything. Well, it eventually permutate and put some things together and bring about some other new things. But there's nothing science is doing but trying to understand what God has done in the first place. That's what scientists do. Okay. So I mean, we're talking about a different realm here. We're not talking about a solid or liquid state. We're talking about a different realm, which is the spiritual realm.
Do you know that the more science evolves, the less religious people are becoming? We've seen that with the Western experience, that they've completely moved away from religion because they've got science to insulate a lot of their needs.
Well, because most of those people, one man, they never at any point in time had a strong foundation or any foundation for that matter. And I don't blame that. I'm not putting a finger here. But what I'm saying though, that we I mean, it doesn't matter if you're Christian or not. We are physical beings. We are more likely to be more attracted and try to get understanding of our surrounding by physical explanation. There's nothing wrong with that. We are all human beings. So if you can delineate and tell people, breaking things down empirically to people, they're more likely to go with that. And that's much easier for a godless mind to believe. But in reality, I'm telling you, one man, if you go back in history, the greatest scientists from Newton to Galileo and all those people were believers in God. They never discounted God. Not like Hawkins today or this other atheist people that are talking. No, the scientists from the beginning believed in God. They were just out there thinking they are continuing in God's work, trying to understand nature and what God has done. What is man? I mean, think about it. I mean, we're full of ourselves. We're truly full of ourselves. Given that we can agree that before we were with the dinosaurs and all these things, we have planets that we can't even explain. When I was in primary school, whatever, in science class, they told us we had 9 planets, right? We learned those planets by the acronyms, but today I think there are more than 9 planets.
Prince, I've often heard that argument that the great science or the great scientists and philosophers, etc., the great minds of the past, that they all believed in religion, but they had no choice. But not because their science was evolving humanity out of religion, but humanity had not yet at that time evolved out of religion. So they come from a backdrop of religion to come through science. So the science had not evolved to that. If you had Galileo alive now, he would not even believe in anything like religion. He would not, because the science is so advanced now.
No, I disagree. But you're making an assumption that even back then, I wish I could remember the guy's name, Pascal. I think Pascal was a scientist also in Italy back then. Right before at the Italian Byzantine era. But anyways, there were people back then that did not believe in science, and they reprimanded and punished people like Pascal and others that believed in God and science. They wanted to separate the two. So it's not just today. There were people back that were staunch non-believers in God, and they were more into science and rejected anything that had to do with God. So it's always been there from the beginning. It's always been there from the beginning. Yeah. Today we have more scientific abilities and tools to explore the world much better than back then. Sure, but none of those things dispute the existence of God or the creation of if you want to go through the logic. I mean, I heard people talk about the logic. The scientists always believe in empirical evidence of things. Fine, but now there has to be cause and effect of things. Okay, so people that don't believe in God only want to go with the effect of it, but not or the cause of it, not the effect of how it all came about. But this is beyond us, and science is not against. To me, it's not against religion or in the belief of God. Science
you see, Prince. There's an argument now that people don't necessarily disagree that there's other worlds of mysticism, spirituality, deities, and whatever it is. But what people are no longer willing to surrender to is that omnipotency of one singularity of being. People now want to, because the science is taking us away from that.
Well, science has taken you, it hasn't taken me. I'm not. Maybe it's taken by Bati also. Me, I'm still.
When you have a headache, do you go to your pastor or do you go to your doctor?
See, well, when people make such a point, it's because you're trying to discount the very nature of God. Everything that's on this earth, was created by God. The plants and everything. I mean, after all, all the medicine they mostly come from plants. I mean, back then. So, see, I've heard it said, Jesus Christ will not do for you what you can do for yourself. So it's not a joke. When God created the whole world, it said it was good. God created it. We are supposed to be, caretakers of this world and be good stewards. So, and we're supposed to use all the things around us. So why do I want to run to my pastor? Why? If my pastor's not my God, I don't do that anyways. We all seek for knowledge and understanding. No pastor is God. So I go to my doctor, or if I can do my own little research, I can do that. I don't. But just like everything else, we defer to the experts or the people that have deeper knowledge on the subject matter. But the pastor, the prophets, the evangelists, the teachers, they all have a place in this world. We all live in the ecosystem, and we are supposed to complement one another in different ways. So it's not either or. It's just the way you understand things. Man has done a lot of great things also that we should admire. God created man. Man has done a lot of great things too. So you can't be overly spiritual. That's the problem. What you're talking about. You can't be overly spiritual and discount the reality of the physical existence that you exist. It's trash. We're supposed to enjoy everything of this world, the beauty of this world, everything. We're supposed to enjoy it. I'm not stuck in my head in the Bible. Everything is, no. God has given us brain. I mean, do you not know, one man, that God is the one that gives us the ability to create things and creativity? If you're able to tap into that realm, you can interact with the spiritual world to get insight And a lot of people do. By the way, you don't have to be a Christian. A lot of people have come up with great insights and they're not Christians because somehow, some way, it can say their destiny to have such a privilege.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying now. That that insight into that parallel space of spirituality, people acknowledge it, but they don't. A lot of people are moving away from the idea of one omnipotent God.
Well, I hear you. I'm not, because the more I learn, the more I know that I know nothing, quite frankly, and the more I would like to know more about God. And now my thinking level now is, okay, we have the physical realm, and we have the spiritual realm. But now I'm beginning to think now there's something above the spiritual realm. I can only imagine what that would look like. I can't even conceive that. It's it's a place of God, and it's in the highest authority and form. So I don't know what to tell you, man. It's fascinating. We love sciences. Science is great. I'm all for science. I can never be this kind of science person. I'm always wanting to learn. So to me, it's not mutually exclusive in that regards. Science and God or spirituality.
All right, then. BT, did you come into tackling Mondays before I move him on?
I have a question for the Zionists. That's why I came up.
All right. So to the Zion, I think Princess Rosie wants to tackle you as well, but she'll be back in a minute. Yeah, go on, BT.
So how come that the creator, your own version of it, how come he has favorites? If we are all equal before him, so how come some people refer to this as like the special one and the chosen one? I thought we were all equal, and the others didn't allow that. So how come that is?
Well, actually, God does not have any favorite. It's actually that scripture is right there in the Bible, and that was by Apostle Paul's Peter's experience, and it came to a realization conclusion that, hey, well, after all, God does not have any favorite, and God does not have any favorite. But to your point, if you're talking about the chosen people, as we call them, the Jewish people, well, it's because God has this. They always call a people's group, of people that have become an example for God's work. It's not because God loves them any more than black people or white people, Asians, not at all. But God has chosen in His servancy to produce His work, to reveal Himself through these people. And you got to keep in mind, these people are a small number or ethnic group, if you want to put it that way. And God can do mighty things through anyone. So it's not so much that the Jewish people are special people. It's just that they are chosen as a special people, a people's group.
Hold on right there. So I had to look up something. I was having a conversation with a group, and it turns out that even the so-called Christians in Israel, like 1.97, and they're even Arab Christians. So my point is the psychological effect it has on the so-called Christians that see them as superior. You might claim you don't see that, but you know how you feel anytime somebody calls themselves Israeli. They have this latitude to misbehave under the guise of God's chosen people, and it's accepted by so-called Christians. Is my point. So it's not what God's interpret, it's the way people perceive them as, and they're allowed to misbehave because people believe that they're God's chosen one. So if they do anything, it must be because God approved of it, which is a problem.
Right. Hold on a second. Right, Baba T.
Can I interject?
One second, sorry, let me answer.
Just interject also. And you said God's chosen people. Are you talking about the Europeans that went to the Arab land and started claiming they are God's chosen people? Or
I'm just talking about Jewish people.
Nobody's discussing Europeans. We are discussing this idea that in those so-called religions, actually, it's two things that bother me. Number one, people claim that they are God's chosen people. Number two, the so-called message is to a group of people, and they will come and tell you that, oh, something talked to me in my dream, or I saw something that nobody. It's just a few people that saw it, and we're supposed to all believe it through you. And if I don't, then in some cases you're killed for that. Historically, you see what the effect of that has done to society. So
but I see one thing people don't talk about, which is quite amazing, also, is that only if you knew the kinds of disaster, calamities that the Jewish people have suffered around, even when in the time of Christ and before that. Yes, they were chosen people, but at the same time, if you look in the Bible, every time they misbehaved, they were dealt with severely. They were. If you know how God dealt with the Jewish people, I don't think some other group would want to be the chosen people, quite frankly. I'm telling you.
You know, for full disclosure, now I've told you, I used to be a 3-time Bible Sword champion, so I know the word. I'm very, so trust me.
I know
Hold on, because the way you come to their religion is you are like a Gentile, right? So you come through the cross, so you are adopted. That's pretty much what he's saying. You're not really the sons and daughters of Christ. You are adopted into the family, so you will always be seen as inferior. You can treat it any way you want. You will never be seen as the real sons and daughters of what they call God, and that is what you have to accept. I'm sorry.
Who sees me as inferior?
Can I ask a question? Because you keep on saying.
Hold on, but who sees me as inferior?
Those that don't. First of all, you believe in their God. They don't subscribe to what you call the Trinity, right? They don't subscribe to that, for the most part. They don't subscribe to that, but you believe in their heavenly Father, right? So if you go to what you call the Son, they be very dismissive of you, that you don't know. How can you claim to believe in what I believe, yet subscribe to something that we don't consider as true gospel? I've been to Israel. Well, I was there for I was there for 21 days. I've said that on this show before, and I know the way they see Christians. They literally laugh at you guys. So how come you are more tolerant of those that are very dismissive of Christ, and even so-called Muslims are still willing to at least talk about Christ, maybe as a prophet, but those that are quick to dismiss him as a son of God and even literally abuse him, you embrace them because you are of one same family.
But I also want to ask
hold on, but see, you have to keep in mind that, you got to keep in mind that even the Christianity we're talking about came from the Jewish lineage, okay? The apostles were all Jewish. The fact that a sect of the Jewish people are refused to acknowledge Christ as the Savior and is still waiting for the Messiah, that's fine.
It's sect. What do you mean it's sect? The vast majority do. It's not a sect. The vast majority of Jews don't accept Christ as the Son of God.
Is Jesus Christ a Jew? Is Jesus Christ a Jew?
They don't.
Absolutely,
I can't even tell you the way they describe
Christ. I thought it was an Arab. I thought it was a Palestinian.
Oh no. Hold on. One man, I cannot even describe the way they described him to me in Israel on your show. It was that bad. I can't even use those words on your show. It's that awful. But by the way, I have to run. Prince, when we have our own show on the platform one of these days, we can discuss further. So let me just leave it right here. Thank you.
Okay.
Cool.
Can I ask my own question?
Hold on. Chooks, did you come in especially for this? Sorry,
yes. I just happened to overhear the conversation about religion, and it's very interesting. And I just wanted to add that there is a scientific way to look at religion. I studied biology and psychology in university, and religion can be seen as an extended phenotype of human beings. An extended phenotype are manifestations of the genes that exist outside of the genes. So the purpose of religion is to extend cooperation and coordination of groups for competing against other groups. So whenever you see, religion is ubiquitous in human societies, meaning it's in every society that has ever been studied. And the reason for this is that societies that have a core religion, they're more competitive, and it gives the society an ability to extend beliefs throughout the society, and it really makes the societies compete better in terms of tribalism and groups. And one key feature of religion is that it makes like a society a kind of super organism where everybody is on the same page, and everybody has the same rituals, the same worldview. So it's really better understood
Is
as
that
a
sort of like
biological
a
adaptation
herd?
than anything
Is that
else.
sort of like a herd mentality? HERD, herd mentality. Is that what you're talking about, Chooks? Hello? Can anyone hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know
Excuse me,
if
sir.
Tubes drops.
Oh, no, sorry.
I'm not
I think
hearing you so well. It's kind of choppy. I don't know if it's my connection.
It may well be me because we've had that complaint in the past. I was saying, is it what you're describing? It sounds like herd mentality.
Okay. Sorry. I think I may have a bad connection.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I wanted to hear your thoughts on that.
Okay, I hear you better now. I didn't hear the last maybe 15 seconds, but can you repeat?
No, I was saying that what you are describing, that people coalesce under the singularity of religion, and that way they are able to act in unison more, and it brings a better society. I was saying that sounds like herd mentality, HERD, like a herd of sheep or something like that. I hope you heard that.
No, human beings exist in groups, and your essence is often given to you by the group before you can assert your own individuality. So religions, give you an essence, and it also gives you like a meaning outside of yourself. And you can groups of people who are unrelated genetically or biologically can still coalesce under a religion and act as a group. And this is the key benefit of religion. It can turn groups of people living on separate continents into a kind of superorganism that competes with other groups. So this is what religion is for on a biological level. If you look at it purely like, from a scientific point of view, this is what religions are. It's a way to get groups to compete with other groups, because you have to understand that we evolved in the context of a group living species of social.
Sorry, Chooks. Do you think religion was created especially for that purpose that you just described? Do you think it's an orchestrated sort of construct, constructed by man, for essentially what you just described?
No, I think it's not constructed by man. It evolves over time, so it becomes more universal as it evolves further. So the initial concept of religion really evolved in Africa, in hunter-gatherer societies, and it coalesced into like the gods of kingdoms and small nations, and it really it evolves in every step of the way, so that in the later stage of religion, you have it's kind of like a multinational religion that ropes in more and more people. Like religions are constantly evolving to grow and expand, if that makes sense.
Yes. What do you make of spirituality and the concept of God in everything that you described? How does that fit in? Spirituality and the concept of one omnipotent God. How does that come in?
Well, as you go from animism to polytheism to monotheism, in animism, you have a god of the water, a god of the sky, a god of the, different, everything is a god. And you narrow it down to one god, or a few gods, or one god. And I really haven't, that's a very good question. I think, I can't remember enough of what I learned about this in university.
I mean, you don't have to give us the university one. You can just give us your take on it. But the concept of Christianity, what do you make of it? Do you think it was essentially a tool for colonialism, or do you actually see it as a real and viable religion?
Well, again, the way you practice a religion depends on what's going on in the environment. So if you find yourself in an environment that's dog eat dog and very competitive, then you'll look into the scriptures and see a message of war and hatred, and your religion becomes a sword. But if you are in a condition where you're in positive sum relationships with people around you, then when you look into your scriptures, you see a message of tolerance and compassion. So it really interacts with the environment that the person is in, and that kind of shapes and helps religions evolve, whether they are, fighting or whether they're at peace with their neighbors. But in terms of Christianity, the core ideas of Christianity is a benevolent shepherd, divine plan, and an afterlife. These core ideas are what give people peace and a profound meaning and help people overcome adversity in life and bind people together in religious communities. And I think these core ideas are important, and you don't have to worship the graven image of a blonde hair, blue-eyed Jesus to benefit from believing in these ideas. So.
All right, brilliant. So the broad strokes of, especially that last bit, is something that I've tried to put forward, maybe not as eloquently as you. I think Dupsy comes in especially for this space. Dupsy, you wanted to come on. I think are you here to give Prince Daddy a beating? Eh?
How did you know that one, man?
I know now. Because when you hear religion,
it's so pathetic. Somebody like Prince Daddy, see the way he comes across, very good voice, it talks calmly, very eloquent in his contribution always. I like him, but I can't stand him. Do you understand? Because how can a guy be this brainwashed? Okay, Prince Daddy, this Jesus Christ especially, God gave him the kind of brain, the same brain, because if you look at human brain, it's the same size. So God gave him that brain to come to this world, and you the same time. So you are worshiping a human being that came to this world just exactly the way you are in this world. How does that sound to somebody like your wife? Somebody like my husband now worshiping somebody like woman, because woman is eloquent and everything. He speaks his mind and everything. So my husband comes home now talking about woman every day, all day long. That's exactly the way you talk about Jesus Christ. He's a man like you that passed through this world. Probably some people found him attractive and somebody knowledgeable. I don't know. I wasn't there. So you should be able to be careful the way you talk about somebody that you were not there when he was here in this world. You don't even know what happened. This is a guy that some people said they practiced gay themselves because they were like 12 in numbers, taking themselves all over the place. I don't know, and I'm not saying that. So, but we should be careful the way we come across. Your children will be listening to this, if not now, in the future. I can't imagine my father to be brainwashed. I'm sorry. I'm a very strong woman. I want a man to stand on his feet and believe in what he believes in. If you're talking about God, I don't know much. If you convince me not to believe in God today, I might not believe in God. I'm like that. But I still believe in God. Do you understand? But me, a woman like this, Prince Daddy, I can't be talking about Jesus Christ. I can't be talking about Muhammad. I can't be talking about the founder of Buddhism, any religion whatsoever. Because I can't. I'm a human being like that.
Hold on, Dupsy. You said you believe in God. So what's your pathway? Who is that God? And what is your pathway to him?
Okay, woman, thank you. I was brainwashed just like you. I was brainwashed to believe in one God, the maker of heaven and earth. I don't know. I'm still in that journey. Probably I won't believe in that God anymore. But I believe in that one God that they said that it made the heaven and the earth, because I was brainwashed to believe in him. Do you understand? I still believe in him. Do you understand?
Right.
I still believe in that one God, but I'm still in that journey. I'm still there, processing it, researching, trying to know if I shouldn't believe in that God any longer. I'm not sure.
You still believe. So what is what is your pathway to that God? What's
I don't
your
even have
pathway
any.
to him?
Like you mean like how do I communicate with that God?
Yeah, how do you connect with him? What's your
I
journey to
don't.
him from?
I don't connect. I don't connect with that God. I just acknowledge that He's there. I don't connect. I'm not asking Him to give me anything. I don't connect. I'm not begging Him for anything. I just acknowledge Him that He's there. Do you understand?
So
So
you
I
know
don't
what
have
it sounds like.
any
You know what it
connection.
sounds
Yeah.
like. You know what it sounds like, Dupsy. It sounds like you are abstaining from Christianity, but believing in God as an insurance policy. Is that what you are doing? Is God an insurance policy to you?
Not at all, woman. I'm not even in that space anymore. Not at all. That's why I'm saying that if somebody convinced me today that there is nothing like that, probably by this time next year, my conversation would have changed. You don't know. So that is why I'm saying that I'm not saying that. I just still believe in that God that I'm brave. I was born into.
Did you get married in church?
Yeah, I did actually.
Did you Christian your children? Did you Christian them?
No, I never. None of them was Christians. None. No confirmation, no christening. None. I don't even do naming ceremony. I'm that bad. I don't do naming ceremony. I've never done that before. So talk less of christening. Do you understand? No confirmation, no christening. And I was still a Christian then. So I'm not that kind of person that I will carry something that I wasn't there when they started it. So I will not carry it in my head and say, that thing pains me a lot, woman. When some people are defending Muhammad or Jesus Christ, were you there? Were you born with them? Were you there? Were you present? So you are reading a book that is not even adding up. The Bible doesn't add up. The Quran doesn't add up. All these holy books, when you read them extensively, you see they're not even adding up. So what will a man that is soft-spoken, a gentleman, an eloquent man, I just love his voice. But sometimes if it's somebody that is just talking
you
out.
didn't add handsome. You didn't add handsome. Have you not seen what it looks like? It's handsome too.
Everything. You don't know. If it's somebody that just talks jargons here, I wouldn't even come in. But somebody like Prince Daddy, I just like the way he talks. Calmly. Do you understand? So why is it this brainwash? I don't understand.
Now, I want
Prince Daddy, Lord. Wallahi. I just love his voice. Do you understand? You know me, I'm crazy. I'm an old man, Prince Daddy. If you can see my picture, sometimes you think I'm not young. I'm old. But wallahi. You're so soft-spoken, very. But why are you this brainwashed? Why? Woman, do me go now. What's all this for? You weren't there when Jesus Christ came. And you're talking as if you were saying, not your being because no. Jesus, probably Mary and Joseph collabo. One collabo, one loan you. And remember those times you have to be a virgin. Holy Spirit, what are you talking about? Now you come here, start defending something to show you. You have to take it easy. I better go. Take them easy, Prince Daddy. All those things, we have to just know what we are saying because our children will still listen to this thing. Sometimes, probably later, in years. See my dad talking like this. Sometimes they lose interest in anything we tell them when we are not being critical in how we put our words on what we believe in. We have to be careful. And don't forget, our children, they're always on Google. Researching every day. They are researchers. They are scientists. So don't just think that these people will not listen. Then they lose respect for you when you start talking like this. Something that somebody said some 2,000 years ago, some 4,000 years ago.
But Dupsy.
Yeah.
No, sorry, go on. Go on, Prince. I think she was speaking to you. Yeah, go on, Prince.
Yeah.
Hello, Dupsy. Nice to hear your voice again.
Okay, go ahead.
No, right. See, Christ was on this earth, but at the same time, I'm not the same as Christ. Just like the Bible says in the Hebrew 1:3, right? It said the Son is the radiance of God's glory, an exact representation of his image, of his being. So when Christ came on earth, he came as an image that is the exact representation of Christ, of God himself. So I can't be put in the same category as him or any other person for that matter, because it also says in the Bible that he was the only one that came on earth and never sinned. So I'm a sinner, But at the end of the day, we're not talking about religion really. We're talking about Christ here. See, religion has always been around one man, just like even Abraham that we all speak to in the Bible. Abraham was an idol worshiper, multiple idol worshiper. That's where Christianity, quote unquote, comes from. Although the children, the 12 tribes came from Isaac, right? But the point here is that religion has always been there. Religion or the need to worship something has always been there from the beginning. You know why, one man? Because God has placed eternity in the heart of man. The need to want to worship something outside of us exists. It does. And for that reason,
Prince Daddy, I would advise you to read the book called Sapiens. It's to explain why human beings need to worship something. And it scientifically explains this. Just read the book Sapiens. All these things you are saying, you are just speculating. You don't really know the reason why. If you truly, really want to know the reason why human beings always have to worship something, then read the book. At least then you will know why.
Well, I've not read the book.
Not that you come online and be saying God put it in our hearts so that we can be doing that.
No, I've not read the book, and I'm not going to discount the book. The book is probably a fine book that answers part of the question. But again, it is God has. When I say God has placed, it is in the Bible, placed eternity in the heart of man. That is, man has realized that there's something beyond him. There's something beyond him, quite frankly. And if you look around in nature, nature speaks of God. And nature, we are able to connect with nature, animals, plants, or whatever by love. And that's why when Christ came, he said, he's not come to destroy the law, but to fulfill the law. And what is the fulfillment of the law? Love. Love God and love your neighbor. So if you really enshrine your belief in the love of God, I don't get into debate about a lot of things about religion. And that's when I talk to a man of religion, someone that understands. When I talk about religion, I'm talking about Christ, that worships, somebody that worships God or that believes in God. If I talk to that person, I'm really talking to that person's heart, not about the peripheral stuff about the kind of church or denomination and all these things. I don't get into that. And I can't question even Dupes. I can't question Dupes' belief in God. Who am I to do that? Because she says she doesn't believe in Christ, but that is fine. But who's saying that she's no more righteous than I am? So I don't go that route. I don't go that route. So it comes down to love, loving your neighbor, and I'm still working on that. Love your neighbor and love God. When you are able to tap into that, all these other questions, all these other things are irrelevant. All these other things are irrelevant because you are going to transcend all these shenanigans, as I call them. The name of your church or your pastor is all shenanigans. If you believe in God and you reach that point of love, because God is love, things are going to be much clearer. You are going to be able to relate to people much better and love people regardless of what they do or say.
That's true. That's very true. I agree with Prince Daddy on this. I think.
Can I say something, please?
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry. Let Chooks land coming after him. Good to see you, Princess. Chooks.
Okay, yeah, I agree with Prince Daddy. Human beings are built to be religious. Religion is our default setting. So whenever you see people who aren't religious, people who call themselves atheists, what these people are doing is that they have replaced their need for religion with some kind of a secular ideology. These people are some kind of, intersectional feminist, or they're a communist. They have found some ideology to fill this God-shaped hole in their life. But human beings are happier when they have religion. And religion, one of the healthiest things you can do is to be a Christian, because it not only binds you into a family of other Christians, but it really does give you a sense of divine purpose and meaning, and it reduces your level of depression and anxiety. Wherever you find atheism, you also find nihilism and people who are profoundly unhappy and more likely to commit suicide. So there are real benefits to being religious.
So all Christians are happy and not depressed. All Christians are happy.
You are very wrong right there.
What is this guy saying?
Very wrong.
You're not depressed. Christians go.
You have to understand that Chooks is a man of science, so he is a bit like Kulata.
See the way he was talking right
Only
here.
Only when you are a Christian that you can have
that's why you will be depressed. But am I borrow now?
He said more likely.
What kind of religious supremacy are you?
They're too proud.
No, look at it logically.
Supremacy. What are you doing? How can you say only when you are a Christian that you can have peace of mind? Atheists doesn't have. They are horrible. They live horrible life.
That even said woman power.
What are you doing?
I think it may be right if you apply logic.
It's not right. You see the way the churches are going after each other. You see the churches, the Pentecostal doesn't even, they preaches against the Catholicism. And you see the Anglicans, they say their own is the best among the Christendom. You see them preaching against each other. Which love do you have there in the Christendom that is better than other religions? You are wrong to say that.
Babami, that the paternity test of most children there show that they belong to their pastors. The paternity test of most of the children shows that they belong to their pastors and they love each other.
I don't know about that. So that was meant to be your session. That was meant to be your session earlier on. But
I have been in a church where in the Pentecostal preaching against the images of Mary. That is an idol worshiping. That a religion practices that compel you to bow your head before that status of Mary and that status of the cross or maybe the Jesus. It's idol worshiping. I mean, it's been preached by what do you call it? The Pentecostal. So where is the unity among you that claim to be Christians, and you are saying that is the only way you can have peace of mind? It's not true.
Baba, they are so brainwashed. Don't mind them, sir. They are so brainwashed.
All right, let Princess come in. I think she came in especially for this topic. Princess.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, sorry, Princess. It's been a while.
My voice is a bit husky. Dopsy, what happened? I was looking forward to your session this morning.
I'm so sorry, my darling. I worked this morning. I'm so sorry. I wasn't available. You're supposed to be my partner in this now.
No, but one man didn't get me to. Anyway, we're going to talk.
No, you told me that you told me that you don't have the slot because of church. Yeah.
Sunday. Really, Saturday. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I just want to contribute a little bit to the discussion. Dopsy, please. I just don't want you to be upset with Prince Daddy. You see, this is a free world. We are all entitled to believe in what we believe. You get what I'm saying? You said you had treaded the path of Christianity before. I guess something must have happened along the line. You now are in disbelief. You don't believe the Bible. You don't believe in God. You are still looking for another pathway to God.
I believe in God, actually, Rosie. I believe in God.
Oh, you do? But to me, like one man was asking, what is the pathway to God? Like now, the African religion, they believe in Olodumare, but they believe they can go through Shango to Olodumare, or they can go through Obatala. Yoruba traditional belief is still there. They still feel you can't go to Olodumare directly.
No, I don't go to God for anything, because they said, even in the holy book that you guys are reading, they said on the seventh day God rested.
No, what I'm saying is that I mean, even in the traditional religion like Eshu now, they believe those that worship Eshu think through, they can get to Olodumare through various medium. So if you believe in God, then what medium? How do you express your belief? You don't need to ask anything from God, but how do you? What medium do you reach God?
For what now? Why am I reaching him?
No, then that means you don't believe in God. That means you're
why? I believe in God. Why? So what do you reach God for, actually, Rosie?
No,
What
I'm saying
do
is
you
that,
reach God for?
like atheists now, they don't believe in God, so they don't go to God. There is no pathway through which
If I
they go
want to
to
reach
God.
God, like if I want to communicate with God, okay, I do it directly though. You should be now.
Okay, you will talk to him directly.
Yeah, directly now. Do I have to go through a pathway? If it's a brainwashing, right?
No, it's
Why
not.
should you go through
It's not
somebody?
brainwash. It's not
And why
brainwash.
should you go through somebody
Those
though?
traditional religion people, they believe in what they believe in. So to me, we are all entitled to believe in whatever we want to believe. You understand? So if you have, like, for me, when I was growing up, when I was much younger, I didn't actually grow up in a religious family. My mom, she goes to church like on Easter Day, Christmas. She's like a social worshiper, a Catholic. My dad, he doesn't go to church, but if he wants to eat, he will provide his food. If he wants to sleep, he will pray before going to bed. It was that sort of way I grew up in. When I was in school, I was always like, running, having fun. I'm like, oh, God is up there doing his own business. We are down here doing our own business. I didn't believe I wasn't religious. But along the way, I had an encounter with Christ. You understand? So that kind of changed me. I had a 360-degree change. I was that type of girl when I was in Ife. We were going to Paris, running around, having fun. But when I had this personal encounter, it was like a 360-degree change in my life. That everything totally was different. My priority, my values, everything changed. So I'm not saying that Christianity is the best, but to me, I believe in Christ and I won't force him on anybody. Everybody is entitled to whatever they believe. If you believe in Eshu, good. If you believe in Shango, good. If you believe in Allah, good. To me, it's a free world. And God has given us the freedom of choice. He's not forcing himself on anybody. You understand? So, like you were saying, you sound so disappointed in Prince Daddy, but I'm sure Prince Daddy he must have had a personal encounter. That's why he's so convinced and convicted.
So, Rosie, when you become more responsible in
Yes,
life,
Mrs.
you're
Rosie, yeah.
living, you're living whatever you were doing when you were younger. You become more mature and more responsible. So that's an encounter, right? That's what you call an encounter.
No. It wasn't like that was an encounter.
Okay.
I had a counter spiritually that changed my life. That's what I'm saying. It's not because I became more.
Well, how does that happen? I don't understand.
You will not
Spiritually
understand
happen.
now because you are not
No,
not a
spiritually.
Christian.
Sometimes when you are high on something, on a substance, you think it's
It's not being
spiritual.
high. It's not being high
Okay.
at all.
So
It's not being
sometimes
high.
people
It's
think,
not.
well,
It's
a lot
not
of
a
people can
mental. No,
relate.
it's not a
Okay, they
mental.
can
No,
relate some substance
no. It's not.
abuse
I
with
didn't have a mental
spiritual.
breakdown. I didn't have a
Okay.
mental
Okay.
breakdown. I didn't have
I just
psychosis.
want to be sure. I just want to be sure, my
No. I
sister.
wasn't high on
Okay.
drugs. I wasn't drunk.
Okay.
I wasn't
Can I just
psychotic.
ask a simple question? If the Europeans didn't come to Africa, will you be a Christian?
I won't be a Christian, of course.
So why do you believe in it so much?
Because I have a personal encounter, like I told.
Okay, let's say they didn't come. Would you have that personal encounter?
I don't know how God is going to work it. I don't know how God would have worked it.
You see,
But
one
what I'm
thing I
saying
know
is that,
is
look, don't get me wrong. You understand? There are many ways to God. You can go to God through so many ways. It doesn't mean that, but to me, the only way I come to God is through Jesus Christ. That's my own way. Some people go, they have like these Buddhists, they practice holiness, they do that stuff. They go to God through their ways. You get what I'm saying? So, like those are our forefathers that did not know Christ, did not know about the Bible, did not know about anything. Of course, It doesn't mean they're all going to go to hell. God has the way he's going to deal with them. There are some people that up there, they're in this world today, they might not hear about Christ until they die. Does that mean they're going to go to hell? No, because Christ has a way that he's going to walk with them.
Do you agree
that is correct? Yeah.
Like Baba Ajale Koko was saying, Christians that they are practicing, why are they condemning each other, Pentecostal and blah blah blah, stuff like that. It's not only in Christianity, even Islam. You have the Sunni group and you have the Sunni or whatever. They have different sects. Some of them said they only practice what Muhammad said. Some of them said no, they practice what So there are different sects in all religion. So, and then when Baba Jali Koko said that they were condemning Catholics for worshipping bound down to Mary and bound down to images. If you read the Bible, what did the Bible say? He said, you should not bow down to anything, not image, nothing in the heaven, nothing under the earth, nothing in the sea. He said, do not bow down. So now you carve an image, you are bowing down to that image. So what's the difference between Ogun that has an iron that is going to pour oil and blood on? What's the difference between...
Now you are trying to condemn the people that brought this thing to you. These Catholics. You're trying to condemn them. You see now? You see, when you're trying to condemn them.
When you read the Bible, if you read the 10 Commandments,
I don't understand the Christians.
No, it's
not a confused set of people.
Down. You cannot go contrary to what the foundation Christ has laid. He said, do not bow down. It's right there. It's written in black and white.
So why are they bound down to Mary? Because they are the custodian of this religion. This Catholics.
What I'm saying is that
why are you saying what they are still practicing is not good?
I am just saying
this encounter that you just talked about now, my sister. They have the encounter before you. These people, these custodians, they have this encounter before you. So why are you not saying that Jesus, God revealed to them that they should craft a graven image
in the
for
10
Mary?
Commandments? God will not contradict himself.
Who wrote the 10 Commandments? Somebody went to one bush. Somebody went to one bush. That 10 Commandment is somehow safe. Somebody went to one burning bush and brought something. You are
entitled to your opinion. You are entitled to your understanding. Nobody is condemning you. You are free to have those beliefs. But
I'm saying that you shouldn't condemn the custodian of Christianity.
I am just
those
saying,
are the Catholics.
According to the Bible, according to the 10 Commandments, he said,
well,
do
they're
not
not
bow
custodians,
down.
though.
He said, do not bow down.
Who brought Christianity? Who are the first people that brought this?
You have a really good point about Catholicism. In the worship of idols and all those Mary and saint images. That is true. That is the worship of idol. You're absolutely right. But I've always made a point here to make a distinction between the practitioners of religion and the worship or the following of Christ itself. See, man, it's always been from the beginning. And even in what you're talking about is in the Bible, when Apostle Paul went to Galatia and Athens, trying to spread Christianity. At the end of the day, these people incorporated their idol worshiping or the way of worship into Christianity. And it came back to those people and rebuked them in what they were doing. Okay. So it's always been man's way.
Yeah, like you said, Prince Daddy, when Christianity got to Rome, that is when they idolized it. They brought a lot of pagan practice into it.
Exactly.
So see, if you go and read the history of church, you understand what we're talking about. They brought in a lot of Roman idols and brought it into, and then that's why just to be able to gain ground from people. So we need to go and read all these things. And if you are
should there be an image in church?
There shouldn't be any image. What image do you
my
want
answer
to
to that is
God?
no. Absolutely no.
But most churches have images of Christ.
What I've just said.
Well, maybe the crucifix, because the crucifix is not really unique to Jesus Christ.
It's not unique to Christians alone. A lot of
exactly in the sense that we saw the other two thieves on his right and left that were crucified also. But the point though,
so why you're opposing to that as opposed to the images of Mary or whoever else?
If you read the Ten Commandments, woman,
they actually call on these names, and it's like they're worshiping these idols. They do. And I'll tell you one thing also, if anybody can believe it, there's a man that I encounter in heaven, and he actually asked one of the apostles that talked to the mother of Jesus, Mary, and he told Mary, the mother of Jesus in heaven, that do you know on earth that they worship you? And Mary said, really, I never knew. Of course, she didn't know. So these are all man-made, approach to maybe getting closer to God or practicing their religion. Man will always invent. That's what we are. That's why I can relate with Princess here, because when she talk about encounter, it's a personal encounter. Okay, and that's why when I talk to people like her, I know she transcends this religious thing we're talking about, because she has a direct connection, even though maybe different from mine, but nonetheless, she's on a different strata, to communicate about God and Jesus Christ and religion for that matter. And that's what I'm talking about when I want to talk about religion.
Prince Daddy, you had an encounter. Rosie had an encounter. So all these people that carved the graven image of Mary, they had an encounter. So you guys should keep all your encounters to yourself. Do you understand? So that's how celestial people had their own encounter. Do you understand? So different kind of different people. Amen.
You are not stronger than Paul. Look at Paul. Paul was on the way to Damascus.
No, don't compare me to Paul. Me, I'm mentally stable.
You are a child of God.
Paul wasn't mentally stable. Check all the writings. No, check all the writings. No. Don't compare me to Paul, Princess. My sister, I will fight with you. I'm mentally stable.
Don't worry.
Paul wasn't mentally stable. Paul wasn't mentally stable. He wrote jargons inside that holy book. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Understanding.
So you guys had different encounters with Holy Spirit or whatever you had the encounters with.
You had a relationship with God, with Jesus Christ.
Some people went to the bush to bring the commandments that they had the encounter.
Okay.
Do you understand what I mean? Some said some people did not die. They were taken off with the will of wind or something. Different encounters, different stories.
Take the Bible, keep studying the Bible and be praying. Just say, God, they say there is you somewhere. I need you to talk to me. I want to have a personal encounter with you. You don't need to go kneel down with any pastor. You don't need to go to anybody. You say you have a relationship with him. You believe that he exists. Keep talking to him. He hears every single thing. One day he will
the only thing I need. I'm pursuing the only thing I need to survive this world, my sister.
With him.
The only thing
you are a child of God, but you are running away from God.
The only thing I need in this life, one man, as you're looking at me, I'm pursuing it, is knowledge. I will never be brainwashed.
Not the dollar. I thought it was the dollar that you were
I love the dollar too.
She doesn't need the dollar.
I love the dollar too. I love the dollar too. But I need knowledge, and I love knowledge.
God,
and I go near knowledge.
God, do
you understand, Rosie? I don't need any encounter. I don't need any encounter at all, because I am stable in my mind. So I don't need any encounter. Thank you, woman, for having us.
All right.
Thank you, I'm praying for you, Dupsy. Come back to me.
Thank you, my love. Thank you, my love.
I love you.
All right. Thank you. So the soul of Dupsy is still up for saving. Between Prince Daddy and Rosie. All right, Prince, back to you. You opened up that space. I didn't even know how we got there, but Prince, back to you.
Yes, Mama. It's always an interesting and hot topic when it comes on. Everybody wants to chime in because it gets people excited. But it's all good.
Prince, Prince Daddy, please, can I add something before I forget? When you were talking, I wanted to add, when they were saying science and religion, one thing about science is this: there is a lot of facts that is in the Bible. most of the time, science only confirms what is in the scriptures already. Am I lying, Prince Daddy?
Please state one
Absolutely
fact.
correct. Yeah.
State
Absolutely
one
correct.
fact, just one. State one fact, please. Yeah, that is in the Bible. That is scientific.
I cannot just
Go
pull
ahead.
anything off my brain, right?
No, you said I am Bible already soon.
Okay, okay,
Just
wait.
one.
One fact is this.
Well,
One
it's
fact
talking
is
about the
this.
creation of the world, the
Yes,
creation itself. You know,
yes.
they try
Let's
to
even
replicate the
talk
creation
about
of the world by the
Prince
Big Bang
Daddy. One
theory.
that I can remember is this about the age of the world, right? How old the earth is. Because sometimes you would see science would discover that there's like, is it like this dinosaur? They said they've been in existence some thousands and millions of years ago. That is true because there was a world that was in existence millions of years ago before that world was destroyed, and God renewed the earth and established another world. It was
Yeah,
after
it's
he had
documented. Yeah.
established that world that he now brought Adam and Eve. So science confirms that, and the Bible. So that's what I'm saying. They tell you that like all this fossil fuel.
Science confirmed that Adam and Eve, Abi.
No. I'm talking about the age, the earth, some things
the
that
age,
have been
yeah,
in existence.
the
It's been
position
in
of science is
existence,
different from
like
that
the
one in the
fossil
Holy
fuel,
Book.
like
It
the
is
fossil
different.
fuel, like the
It is
fossil
different.
fuel. Is like
What the science believe doesn't match with what the Holy Book
no, it
believe.
does confirm a
It
lot
does
of
not.
things. No,
Yeah,
okay,
I don't know. That's why I said be specific so that we
look at
argue it
look
before I
at the
start going.
galaxy. Look at the galaxy. You understand? The Bible, if you read the Bible, you will know that there are many stars, there are many. I can't quote it word for word, but science from time to time they keep discovering more planets. Oh, before they said there were 7 planets, now they have discovered 9 planets. Now, the solar system, they keep discovering, but this thing is already established in the Bible. So science, whenever they discover new things, it establishes what has been
Where Bible just says somebody was impregnated through the Holy Spirit, immaculate conception.
What I'm
Was it
telling you is that
artificial insemination? I don't understand what happened there.
That is look, that you will not understand, Dopsy, you will not, because
Am
there
I
are
parole?
spiritual level and there is a physical level. So yeah, no, so
All right.
now.
I don't think we needed the Bible to tell us that there are stars. You only have to look to the skies and then you'll see them. So I don't think the Bible needed to tell us that. But
No, I mean discovering of the solar system, when they discover more, like they said they found more before. It was 7
9 planets. Now they found more.
stuff like that. Now it became 9. Now it became 12. They keep discovering, but all these things, it's not they are just coming to know it. But this is established already in the Bible. You need to understand it for you to know what I'm talking about.
All right, we have to do a session on this on one of Doopsy's shows. All this, it's going to be. We need Prince Daddy for that one, but Prince, back to you.
Okay.
Okay, well, man, I guess maybe the next person takes over. What is the next topic, if any? So
yeah, I think Chooks wants to have the final word there. Chooks.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make one point. Religions are all companions of wisdom, real wisdom about the world, but that wisdom is not literal. So if you look at a religion in terms of, is this literally true, then you're going to miss the point. There are spiritual truths in religion. So for instance, if you act as if you're trying to get into heaven, that'll lead you to act in ways that benefit yourself, your family, and society. So there's benefits to believing in heaven, and even though those beliefs may not have scientific proof that they're literally true, the spiritual truth is enough to change your behavior in a way that gets you to act in a way that benefits you. If that makes sense.
It does make sense. It's a point that I've also been trying to. There was a time I was asking that if you lived a pious life, doing all the right things through your life, but you don't believe in religion, do you make heaven? Which is essentially what you've just described as well. That if you because everybody benefits. You don't steal, you don't kill, you work hard, you do good by society constantly, pretty much all through your life. But you don't believe in religion. So do you make heaven with that? So that's just where that question is. Do you want me to move you on, Prince?
Yeah, sure.
All right, take us to the space. Atiku Wike's battle for PDP intensifies ahead of NEC meeting. So it is essentially who has dominion over that party is what they're trying to establish. That space.
Yes, the man from Dubai came back. Well, yeah, we kind of knew this from the beginning. Of course, I'm expecting Tinubu to throw his weight behind Wike to make sure he wrestles the PDP from Atiku. So that'll be the goal for Wike to take control of PDP and neutralize Atiku. So Tinubu and the APC can have a free reign for the next election, right? That'll be a strategic approach to the next election. Absolutely. Now, if Wike is able to do that, well, where is Peter Obi going to run to? We know he's going to leave. He's going to go to ABGA, SDP, or PDP. Now, of course, if he goes to PDP, now we might as well call it right now that he's not going to have the opportunity to be the flag bearer come 2027. So it's a good move. There's no way at this point in time that it should leave Atiku with PDP. He's never been a good steward of the PDP party. It's almost like Peter B. Light in a sense. He comes after the election, then he goes away. He's not strategic about what happens afterward, how to bring people together to build a party. It doesn't do much of that. It's such a. I know you respect Atiku a lot. Yeah, I think you said it before. That he was the most qualified candidate in the past election to become president. Maybe so on paper, but absolutely the worst person when it comes to leadership. He's shown it. He doesn't have the ability to organize properly and negotiate. He's a terrible negotiator, and we've seen that. So what can we say? I don't. Yeah, I hope it doesn't.
Prince, what's the better strategy for? Because with Wike, there's a particular strategy for PDP, and then with Atiku, there's a different strategy for PDP. So if they go with Atiku, if Atiku gets to get a dominion over that party, then they will look to attack the 2027 election to try and wrestle power from Tinubu. But if Wike takes hold of that party, then they will have to surrender 2027 and attack 2031. So which one do you think is a better strategy for the PDP?
Well, the former, of course, benefits Atiku, right? For him to take be at the helm of the party, and of course they want it now. So who wants to defer to 3031? It's not in their interest. So just like you said, it depends on who ends up being in charge of the party. It is in the interest of Tinubu that Wike be the person, because I think Wike said himself, not because he's to be trusted, but I think his palm has been greased enough, been appeased in a lot of ways that he would not want to run. And I don't think, just like El-Rufai, Wike does not have that appeal, national appeal. He's a noisemaker. I like him. I think he's was an effective governor. Is a very good administrator right now in Abuja. And overall, he gets the job done. You have to give him the credit. But it doesn't have that, political capital nationally to win, to dominate it. At this point in time, nobody has it. Of course, Atiku's been there, and Atiku's one person. Obi increasingly so in trying to, play his northern politics to expand his base. Sure. So those are the three main candidates on the national stage. Not even El-Rufai that can that can make a dent or impact in the election. And Tinubu has shown to defeat both of them, being at a disadvantage, even his own party, APC, and the Buhari administration working against him. So now that he's in power, he has all the apparatus, all the resources. It's not going to be a walk in the park to defeat Tinubu this time around. And as long as he continues to improve the economy, make the naira stronger, and do what it needs to do, I think he has a much better chance of defeating them. So I guess to your point, it depends on who who gets the power in the party. Again, it is in the interest of Tinubu that Wike becomes the person in charge in their party.
So Atiku out, Wike in. Another loss for Atiku again.
Exactly that.
That guy is a chronic loser. Try.
Oh, sorry, I was speaking. I didn't know I was muted. Carry on.
I'm not the one to call anybody a loser, but I think Tinubu himself said it. Is a serial loser. I think that's what he called him. I think so. And at this point in time, why not? You guys have so many opportunities. That last one was such a big, bungle. It was just a big one. The guy just messed it up big time. And I'm glad he didn't win. Not because I wanted him to win, but he just messed up that last election. Everything was working for Atiku. Everything was working for him. And last minute, not even last minute, he had the opportunity from the beginning to resolve a lot of the issues. But I think he became arrogant and overly confident that, even with there was so much bad blood politics that played in last election. Even APC people were working against Tinubu. We know that because this guy, the guy that came on your show, Buhala, he came and I heard him on many times on Rise or other networks. They got inside information that some APC governors are supporting Atiku, all this other things, and Tinubu had a big hill to climb this past election. But all in all, he was able to pull through and defeat all of them. So, Atiku's he's who he is. No?
All right. Let me take you to one more space, and then I'll go on to Ajanle Koko. How influential northern governors forced me to create militia group. So this is the Miyetti Allah leader in custody of the security agencies at the moment. Are you following that space?
No, I'm not. So no. So they forced him for what interest, for what purpose to serve the governor that told him to create the militia.
Essentially that is for the governor to have and some unofficial militia group or muscles.
That's not following the space. that statement is not far from the truth. And we've always heard about all these governors and the leaders in the north and everywhere for that matter, always connive with all this, fringe elements, to destabilize the region for their own selfish interests. So it's not far from the truth. I mean, if you name names, that'd be great, But they arrest these people, take them to get a bunch of intel from them, and what happens next? We don't get to see much. Nobody's arrested, nothing is done, and just like business as usual. I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's just nice information to know about to what purpose it serves. I'm not sure.
All right, brilliant. Let me go from you, Prince, to Ajanle Koko, see if he's ready.
All right, thanks, Roman. Yeah.
Cheers, Prince. So Ajanle Koko, are you ready?
Go to someone else. I'll come back. One man.
All right. We only have solid left. We could just wrap it up here because I think the highlight would have been the Christian something. Should we just wrap it up and then go again tomorrow? Yeah. Let's do that. All right, we're going to wrap it up early. We don't have Mike. So I'm
Okay,
just
one
gonna.
man, what's up? Let's talk.
All right. Let me just take you through the topics. You're free to leave Labour Party. NLC tells Peter Obi. So they are slowly trying to ease him out of that party. I think they are fed up with him. But what are you making of that space first? Kick it off from there.
Thank you, one man. Greetings to our listeners around the world. Click on the like button, share and subscribe if you haven't done so. Why are they trying to kick him out? What's the reason for that? What reason are they giving?
No, they're actually saying he's an asset to the party, but if he wants to leave, he can. But if he doesn't want to leave, they want to wrestle the party from Abure. And if it stands in their way, then he will have to leave as well. That's essentially the broad strokes of it.
Yeah, I think that argument is fair. I mean, it's fair in the sense that I think they have waited for too long for Obi to take a decisive decision, to take leadership position with regards to Abure and his corruption practices. And since it's not showing that leadership, and since they have been seeing him fraternizing with some other political party leadership, and speculation is going on that they want to go and join SDP and with Rufai, both of them to want to work together and stuff. I think that is what is responsible for this statement. And I think it's a good statement. Obi must really, show where he belongs. And he said it recently. You remember when he made that in that, online, what do you call it? That group.
Yeah, the Instagram, the Twitter space.
Yeah. He said it's not in the party to develop the party, but to go and develop Nigeria. If they are not listening to him, he will leave. So he's showing that, signal that he wants to leave the party. And I think that is one of the reasons why these people are coming out strongly, telling him that you got to do what you got to do. If you know you don't want to continue with this party, if you are tired, you think you have used this party to get that fame, you have used it to attain political leadership, national political leadership in this country. If you are not grateful to what we have given to you, and you are signaling to us that and threatening us that you can leave if nothing is happening, or if they are not listening to you, then you can leave. There's no problem. We didn't force you to come to the party. You are the one that ran away from, the corrupt party where you belong, where you invested. 40 million naira to buy nomination form for the position of president. Only 3 days before the primary, you ran away. And we offer you a space here, a platform here for you to contest, and showing, that you are an ingrate, then leave. So I think it's a statement that really show that the real owner of the party, who are the NLC and other trade union, they are showing, a strong position that, well, our party still belong to us. We can manage our party well. Is your what do you call it? Your relationship and that of Abure, and brought our party, to a party that is being seen now as a corrupt party, like other parties. So you can leave if you think you want to leave. And I think it's fair enough. I mean, they have to come out at a point to show to Obi and Abure that, yes, they are ready to take their country back. Enough is enough for this financial rascality that, both Abure and, Obi's element has, perpetrated for sometimes now in that party. So there's no way you want to blame Abure that you are not going to, blame Obi as well, because they are partners in the running of the party, particularly in the last election. They rake in so much money, and they failed to give accounts in details how they raised the money, how the Obi raised, diaspora money, how much he made, and we didn't hear a lot of that. We saw the details he gave, the breakdown, the amount he spent for to pursue law, a legal action. It is even more than what they spent for the, to pursue the presidential election. So it just tells us that something is not right with the finances of the party. And, so NSC is doing the right thing. I like that statement. So Obi can now, with his team, decide on what line of action they want to take. They want to do. It's either you stay with the party or with disobedience, they can go to another party. So that's the way I see it, one man.
All right, brilliant. Let me take it to this space, Ajale Koko. Atiku Wike battle for PDP intensifies ahead of NEC meeting. So essentially, it shapes the direction that party will follow 2027. What are you making of that space, Wike versus Atiku?
Well, I think it's going to be a tough fight. Atiku's might still win the leadership of the party at the national level because Wike is now serving with APC government. I think that will cause a setback for Wike. Some members of the party will not want to accept Wike as a true loyal party member or a true leader in the party, a loyal party leader in that in PDP. So that will cause a setback for him a little bit. But some of his loyalists, Wike's loyalists in that party across the country still believe in, Wike's leadership. And I think it's not only Wike leadership that really matter now. The group 5 that Wike led in the fight against Atiku, all of them still remain in the party. And I believe that group are the one that are going to battle this thing with Atiku, because that group are not accepting Atiku as their leader right now. I haven't seen any one of those G5 fraternizing with Atiku or made a public statement that yes, Atiku is their leader. So those people are the one, like Makinde and the other governors in the east, in Enugu and Abia State. Those are the one that we battle it out with Atiku. So Wike, in this case, is going to play a very minimal role, because it's going to play a minimal role from the back. It's going to play its own, it's going to play a supporting role from the back, because he is serving in the government now. However, I mean, even though he's still a member in the PDP, he is not going to. I don't know how he's going to play, but he's still member of the PDP. I think him and the G5, they are the ones that are going to battle this out with Atiku. They will want a fresh team to take the leadership position, while Atiku, being one of the founding fathers of the party, we want to retain the party leadership. So it's going to be an interesting battle between the two of them. But you know, it depends. It depends. It depends on who they are going to support for the chairmanship position. If the weakest side and the G5, if they are supporting Olusegun Saraki,
from the grave, are they going to be supporting him from the grave?
What do you mean?
Olusegun Saraki.
Oh,
I thought he was dead. I mean, it's not that religious talk, resurrection. Bukola Saraki.
Bukola Saraki, sorry. No, Bukola Saraki. I don't know, but I don't know which team that Bukola Saraki belong, whether he belong to weaker side or the Atiku side. But
Saraki has always been an Atiku boy now for decades.
Not really.
Was he not one of his campaign coordinators in the last election? Was he not even the main campaign coordinator?
Yeah, since he remained in the party, he didn't leave, so he must play a role. So we don't know. But I think the fact that Atiku is the foremost leader in the party now, and the fact that he was the last presidential candidate of the party, and he is controlling the national executive of the party, I think that will give him more a stronger position against the weaker side. So money is going to play a role, and people will shift ground, against each other. Some from weaker will go to the Atiku side, some from Atiku will go to weaker side. We cannot really know, but it's going to be an interesting battle. And, but Olusegun Saraki, among those that are showing interest for the chairmanship, he seems to have that national political appeal than others. Your friend from Ogun State, Showumi, I don't think it's going to get to anywhere. I don't see others as well. But Olusegun Saraki, I think he is a good politician, and I think he's not against any side. It's not against Wike. It's not against Atiku. So he might be, and it might appeal to both sides as an independent candidate, or a candidate that both sides will accept for the chairmanship position of the party, because it's not anti anyone. It's just there as a one of the leaders who is playing his own role, a good role, a loyal party man, and he might be the man of the day. So, but who knows what is going to happen? But we have to wait and watch. It's going to be interesting. If the weakest side should win the chairmanship, man, that will be the end of Atiku political career. They will sink his political career. They will sink it forever. It will not have no place against PDP. And so that's the way I see it. And the weakest side fight hard to sink in. They want to sink Atiku political career, but Atiku, he got his own side too. He have his own people, and they will battle. And the fact that he's still the he was the presidential candidate of the party, and he was the leader. He still remained the leader of the party. That will give him advantage over the Wike. But the Wike side, they are strategic, in the way they do things. If not, they wouldn't have defeated. Make it impossible for Atiku to win the last election. So they played a very important role, make it impossible for Atiku to win. If not for them, maybe Atiku would have won, but they destroyed that chances for the Atiku. So the strategy they used then, they can still use it again to defeat Atiku in this contest. So let me just leave it there, one more.
Ajahn Koko, with your permission, let me bail out. I'm a bit tired. I don't feel at all geared up for it. I was hoping.
Let's go the shop now.
Yes, let's wrap it up. Let me go hit my bed. So it's a short sort of session. Mike not available. Thomas not ready. So let me just wrap it up. The super chatters, Bosson, Ayo, and Ayo again. So thank you to all those. It happens like that sometimes. Ajahn Koko, you just don't, you just don't feel it. So I'm not feeling it. So let me just go to bed. Thank.
Tomorrow gonna be another day. So
yes, tomorrow is another day.
Yeah. All right,
man. It was a nice, short, powerful session. Actually, enjoyed it. Thank you.
Yes, good fun. So we do it all over again. I was just. In fact, I wanted to bail about half an hour, 40 minutes ago. I was just waiting to see if Mike would turn up, but I don't think he's fully ready yet. But like you said, we'll do it tomorrow. Thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow.